Good morning, Soldier Boy here, and welcome back to RoadCraft for what is live stream number 34 as we continue our journey through the game. Good morning, I hope your week is going well. We're back today for 3.5 hours as we continue on from Wednesday morning stream. I nearly forgot what day of the week we are. Hope everyone's well. I hope your week is ending the way you wanted to. Today we continue on the final map of the base game, Kernel, which we started in Wednesday. Days of the week. I just don't remember. It was started in Wednesday's stream after finishing the penultimate map, which was Sojourn. So today we continue on. We're not envisaging finishing the base game today. I don't think it's going to happen. We've only not long started the DLC, so yeah, I can't see us finishing this. Starting the DLC, starting this map. So I can't see us finishing it today. I'll be very, very surprised that it's never going to happen. But we'll see how much we can get done. E-Player, good morning. How are you today? I'm a little bit tender this morning, only because we had a rough night, to be fair. But yesterday we had to go around secondary schools with my little boy. He finishes year 6 this in September, or end of the school year. So he has to move to big school. And we had our first visits yesterday. And yeah, lots of walking, which obviously for me potentially is a problem. So yeah, had a rough night because of that, but we're okay. It's amazing how much schools haven't changed. That's the weird thing. You know, the classrooms are very similar. They don't have blackboards or whiteboards like we did as kids. They have electronic boards now, and we didn't have those. But other than that, there's not a massive amount of difference. You know, you still have Bunsen burners in science, which is mad. It's just so weird seeing how little it has changed over time. I'm alright. I'm glad you're great though. That's really good. Yeah, I'm okay. But I say, I'm just a bit sore. The rough night isn't brilliant, but it is what it is. We've got another school visit tomorrow morning to go and visit another school. Although I think he's made his mind up already. Although he does have a say in where he goes, he hasn't made his mind up after seeing one school. But we'll see what happens. Okay, don't know if I need to do. Let us load in and see where we're at, shall we? I can't remember quite how much we got done on Wednesday's stream of the final map. So we're currently 87 hours in. It says 7 of 10 maps, but that's only because there's 2 new maps as part of the DLC. We've got plenty of money in the bank, which is always good. Let's continue on. So here we are with 2%. We're definitely not finishing Kernel today. We've got 2% done. So we've got 0 of the 17 infrastructure quests done. As I say, we started this quite late on Wednesday morning stream after finishing the penultimate map Sojourn. We've got 1 of the 33 objectives done and 0 of the 9 side objectives. The map is still not fully open either yet. We're still working out what we need to be doing, but we're getting there. I'm looking forward to doing DLC. The DLC vehicles do look interesting, especially the bridge layers. So I'm looking forward to using those. We always set ourselves a rule. We don't use DLC stuff until the DLC. So because of that, we've got to wait. A massive thank you to those that joined us yesterday for Assassin's Creed Shadows Claws of Awaji DLC. We finished the main story of the DLC yesterday. And we had an hour and a bit of a massive fight with the final boss person. And yeah, it was tough, really tough. But we did it in the end. That's the main thing. But massive thank you to you guys for that, for joining us yesterday. Right, let's have a look at what we're doing. I think, if I vaguely remember, we need to do a couple of convoys. And the problem is, this map is flooded. I can't remember why. What was the reason this was flooded? There was a reason behind it, wasn't there? And I can't quite remember what it was. But the problem we've got is everywhere is as muddy as anything. There's no trees to make bridges either. So we're a bit stuck at the minute. So we need to make roads for these convoys to actually progress. Otherwise they can't get anywhere. Our vehicles are okay. We are struggling on some journeys, but actually we're not too bad on others. So at the minute, we're in the middle of making a road. We were umming and ahhing about doing a road or just doing sand to make it so the convoys can actually get anywhere. I think we're going to end up making a road. It's more permanent. It's less likely we have to come back and keep fixing it. Where sand over time and over journeys can degrade I think it's better just to do a road. It's done then, isn't it? But main missions, organise operations at the sawmill is the first mission there. We need to set a route. Plan a route from the northern tunnel to the warehouse. Again, we've got to do a route. And then prepare the logistics terminal area. We've got 2 things to clear and then also reach a location as well. That's a really simple main mission, and that will restore the steel pipes facility. But I think our focus has to be these roads to start with. And the side mission we've got is bring logs to the sawmill. We need 15 logs, but there is none on the map that we can. Well, there's a few trees we can cut down, but not very many. We're going to gain those though by completing these other missions. So the logistics, not that one. Where's the mission that brings us loads of logs? I think it's this one actually. That gives us. Oh, that one gives us two logs, but in total it's 30 in total. So each vehicle will give us logs as they go back and forth. So that's why we need to get this one up and running, as that's the logs needed for the side mission. So that's where we're kind of at. There are some loose logs for the first time laying around. We kind of found some previously. There's a couple of loose logs over here by the sawmill. If we find them, we have to zoom in quite close to see them. There you go. There's a couple there. If we go to vehicles and then resources, you'll see them flash green. So that is some loose logs, which we haven't seen before on a map, to be fair. So our first plan of action today, we've got to finish off doing this road to over here, the warehouse, because we know the vehicles need to go that way. We've already cleared the area. Once that's flattened out, I think when we may even tarmac it as well, we then want to do this bit here to the warehouse. Again, I'd like to not have to do this, but I think we don't have much choice because the roads are so severe. Convoys will not make it anywhere if we leave it as is. We were struggling a little bit with this one because of the radius of the sound quarry, but I think we're okay. For over here, we're absolutely fine. Although actually we're not. Once we get there, we'll have to back up a bit, but we are okay there. Thanks for the like, much appreciated. Crazy Irishman, good morning. Hope you're doing okay today. But yeah, I'm hoping the rough night doesn't affect us. And, you know, we've had some issues recently with drowsiness and falling asleep. We had one stream that were really, really bad. So I'm hoping we can power through this morning. I've got to get editing done this afternoon as well. I'm desperate to edit. Otherwise, we're just getting behind again with the episodic content. It's frustrating me that I can't keep on top of it. Here comes the rain again as well. That's the other thing we're contending. The roads are bad, but on top of the roads being bad is rain. So this is why I think we're going to tarmac these roads fully. I think it is the best bet, so we don't have to keep coming back and dealing with them. There's no point doing a second-rate job when we've got to keep coming back and waste more time. We can do it properly the first time and then don't have to come back. You know, there's no point if you're going to spend loads of time repairing these things, and you can do it better the first time round. So that's what I think we're going to do, is we're going to actually do a proper job, because I think that would save us so much time in the long run. Thanks for the like, but also much appreciated. So that is the plan. We're going to start off doing this big road. We're going to flatten it out, may even tarmac it, because then we can set the convoy up while we're going to do the warehouse one as well. That's probably not a bad shout actually. If we get this one done and dusted, and then we'll go and do the warehouse one while this one's doing its thing, I think that would be a good shout. And as I say, it's still pipe facility. We'll get that up and running fairly simply. We're just going to get over there and move some things out of the way. We've got a scout vehicle already over there as well. I do struggle so much to lay sand nicely. It's one thing I've noticed, I really struggle with it. Go on, dump the last bit out. I think we're still just in the zone. I think we're on the edge of the zone here. But we've got to go round to where the convoy is going to finish, otherwise it's going to still get stuck. So we've got to go around that corner there. May even need to do more of this at some point. It's not a log on the floor, is it? No, there is a loose, I've just seen another loose log over there. So there are several loose logs laying around that we can use. We did use a couple of loose logs to make a bridge, which was needed to get over to the area that we're going to need to go and clear. We didn't have much choice in the matter to do that, otherwise we wouldn't have made it across. The constant rain is not helping. I don't think the rain actually affects anything. I think it is visual more than the roads get worse or more flooded because of the rain. I don't think that's the thing. But it does feel like it sometimes, that it does make the roads worse. That's the thing. It's a weird one. I think it's because obviously you see it raining, you see the water on the floor and the mud and stuff, and you think, it's making it worse. I don't think it is. It's just in your mind. But yeah, we'll get this whole. It's a big old route we're doing, but it should save us long term quite a lot of time on this map. That's my thinking. The more we do now, the easier it becomes later on. Empty. It can be a little you can't always see when you're emptying out here. I think we're out of the zone now. Let's just reverse a little bit. Yeah, we're out of the quarry, so we've got to reverse back a little bit here to fill back up. We don't have much more to do here. I think once the vehicles go, I don't know how far we need to go. Once they go, what's the word? Invisible. Invisible is probably the wrong word here. We refill? No. They go see-through, transparent. I don't know what you want to call it, but they ghost. That's the word I was after. I don't think they can then get stuck. So once vehicles have made it to the final destination point, they ghost, and I don't think they can then get stuck after that. So because of that, we don't have to fully do this last bit, although I don't want to not do it properly because I don't want to have to come back. But I think they've got to turn in, if that makes sense. So we do want to make it as good as we can here. Obviously big puddle here as well. Just asking to get stuck in that, aren't we? There's our big crane just there as well. I think we need to go just to the left here again as well. We've done this bit just because otherwise my concern was the crane wouldn't get out of there. It's the only problem with the sand. If you can beat yourself. Especially when we know we've got to get further back to get this refilled. Come on. We've not fully beat yourself, surely. Yeah, this is the only thing when you're trying to go back to refill, is the sand you put down can actually cause you problems. Wrong way. Turning the wrong way there. How are you doing this morning, Crazy Irishman? Yeah. This time we're spending now, I think we'll save more time going forward for doing this. It does feel like we're not achieving much because we're not actually completing any missions by doing this. Currently, anyway. But it does feel like we're not really achieving much. But it's these long-term things that can hold us in good stead going forward. Come on, give me the location. Right, we can move we did learn actually we can move while filling, so we're just going to go and do this last little bit. Just because I don't want the vehicles to get stuck right at the end of their journey here, because that would be a pain. And then we'll flatten this out and start tarmacking, and then after that while the convoy is doing its thing here, we'll go and quickly do the warehouse road, which won't take too long to join up, I don't think. And then we will go to the other place and do what we need to do there. Just want to make sure these convoys are doing what they can while we're busy doing other things. Right. This should be fine, I think now. I didn't know really how far to go with this, but I think that should be okay. unable to pour sand. So we can't put any more sand anyway. Just that. Staying easy there. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, no, I completely understand that. Okay, we have got our vehicle to flatten this over here. This is our new grader that we've been using. Really enjoyed this vehicle. I really like this vehicle. It works really well, especially compared to the original one we had. Right, we'll go and flatten this bit. You can actually see the water laying on the sand. You know I said that the rain doesn't affect things? I don't know if it's just an effect, but you can actually see the water on the sand coming off the tracks. I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong about the rain not really doing anything, it's more visual. But now I'm seeing that, I'm thinking, is it? Okay, why do we dump sand? Oh, we must, I think we had a little gap here. I think is why this is here like this. Right, let's flatten this bit out. We have already flattened this over this bit, but we'll just keep going. Just to make sure it's as even as we can. But yeah, this should make convoys so much easier, hopefully. And it will make our journeys easier as well, to be fair. But we were told quite early on in this map that tracked vehicles are the best ones for this map. Obviously they're better in the harsher conditions, mud and things. The only downside to this, doing what we're doing, is if we need to lay any cable for power, we may have to destroy the road to lay the cable to then put the road back. There is always that possibility. It all just depends on if we have to lay cables and we can't avoid going across the road. Hopefully we don't have that, but we don't know what's to come, that's the problem. But hopefully it doesn't cause too many issues. That's why I was a bit uncertain about making a road, because in case we have to lay cable. But I think we should be okay, hopefully, fingers crossed. Alright, just trying to get this spread as evenly as we can. Comes the rain again. Had just stopped raining, but now it's raining again. Low gear is automatically on and locked in position for this grader whilst we're moving the sand around, so we can't actually flatten sand any faster than what it's doing now. Okay, you can just see there's a little gap of mud there where there wasn't enough sand to actually do it properly. We may have to come back and sort that out in a second, a bit more sand there. So I said I'm not the best at putting the sand down evenly from what I've found, whereas that's why I usually leave it to the AI when we're doing roads. Also means we can go and get other stuff ready, but with this, it's all me. I think the majority of it has gone quite well, to be fair. But yeah, this definitely will make life so much easier, especially for some of our other vehicles that aren't going to be so good in the mud and stuff. It just means a lot of work now. That will save us time going forward. I think that's the big thing. Is you don't have to do any of this, obviously. I think that's one of the big things I enjoy about RoadCraft. The choice is yours. You know, you can struggle through mud. You don't have to build the roads where you want. You can wait until it tells you to build one. Or you can do what we've done and preempt it, because it will make our life easier in long term. But you don't have to do this. You could just leave sand. You don't actually have to put asphalt or tarmac down. I'm choosing to, just to save us having to fix roads and stuff later on. I think putting the asphalt down is a better long-term plan. Because even just going over it now, you can see the tracks we're leaving. Over time, some vehicles will leave bigger indentations. and then we will have to come back and fix it. That's why roads, just leave them as mud, degrade over time anyway, because the vehicles do damage the roads. So that's why I want to make sure we do it as well as we can now, rather than having to come back and fix things in the future. Right, square this away. Oh really? Oh no, that's not good. Are you worried about your redeployment, are you? But yeah, that's the stress you don't need. Right, we do need to turn this round. So we're just going to quickly go and fill this back up with sand. And there's a little bit where we didn't have enough sand down. I just want to fill that up a little bit. Put a bit more there. We'll flatten it. Flatten the bit up to our base operations, and then we'll lay the asphalt and then roll that. And then we can really crack on with the jobs at hand, because we'll be ready to go. But yeah, you can even see the indentations this is leaving behind on the sand. Hence why I think tarmac is the best option here, just to make sure there's no issues. I'm not. Hang on. I thought it was closed. It's not closed. There we go. Now we can refill sand. Okay, I went a bit off the sand. What I'm going to do is just put a bit more sand here. We slightly veered off from where the sand already is, and that's so easy to do if we're not careful. Put a little bit here as well. Obviously we need to flatten up there, which is where towards our base operations as well. And then this is the kind of area where we've got a bit less sand than we probably should have. I think I do press the controls a little bit too quickly sometimes. Did anything actually come out? A little bit. Yeah, that's definitely a worry you don't need, Crazy Archon. Right, we're going to park this just across here. We'll jump back into the grader, finish off the sand flattening, and then we are good to go with the convoy while we go and quickly do another one as well. I will take this off flattening for the minute, only because I don't want it. I don't want to over flatten some areas because you can actually make them worse. Right, I think we put it. To be fair, this is a bit weird here. Let's quickly do that there. And there's a bit up here. We put a bit more sand down, didn't we? Rain stopped again. I don't know how long for though. Just here on the left, wasn't it? Yeah. Big indentations here. So we just made that a little bit wider, really. Put that bit there. Right, the bit where there wasn't enough sand, we'll quickly grade that, and then we're heading up that hill to do that bit. Hope they give me leeway. Oh, okay. It was one of the end date, was no business under. Yeah, no, I understand that. Hopefully. Where's the redeployment likely to be? Where are they going? Are you going to a completely different position than when they redeploy? Or are they, is it still a similar position? Or do you have to learn something from scratch, or is it going to be something very similar to what you're doing now, do you think? But yeah, hopefully you stay as you are. I'll tell you one thing. I've said this before, and people have laughed and go, "No, you can't be telling the truth." But I really miss going to work, and I'm not just because of the work side of things, but also the social life, the camaraderie. You know, you're part of a team. If I wasn't doing this, I'd be sat on my own, not talking to anyone for the majority of the day. And yes, I talk to you guys on my stream, and that's brilliant. but it's not the same as having someone in front of you to chat to, is it? That's the thing. But yeah, all these people that hate their job, don't want to work, can't be bothered, can't wait to, you know, retire essentially, so don't have to work. I really miss working. It's just, yeah, it's one of those weird things. I've always worked. I think that's the big thing. I've always worked. I've always been a bit of a workaholic as well. So I think because of that, that's probably why I miss it so much. But yeah, I just wish I don't want to say I wish that obviously things were different, but I do in some ways. I'm very lucky, you know, that I can game all day. We can stream. But at the same time, I would so much rather be back at work. We're going to use the Arling Roadworks 120 Special as our asphalt layer. I'm pretty sure we checked previously. Let's have double check. There is no other asphalt layer that we haven't used yet. The bunker one we've used, that was the basic one we had at the start, quite early. Well, at the start of the game, to be fair. That was the first asphalt layer we had. There's only 2 asphalt layers in the game. The tracked heavy dumper, I'm looking forward to using that in the DLC. But yeah, there's only 2 versions you can use. So the Arling Roadworks is the better one out of the 2 asphalt layers. So we'll deploy this one. Different jobs and skills. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Okay. So you really don't want it to happen then. Okay, there's already asphalt on this bit at the start of the base operation, so we're going to join this up and follow this round. It's quite a long road we're doing, but because this is wider than the original asphalt layer, we should be able to get away with just 1 run rather than 2. There may be some areas I may need to go over just to make it wider, some of the join areas, and this bit here, this bit round here, probably going to have to put the reverse and do a bit more. The majority of it, this is wide enough now to fill the majority of the road up normally, from what we've found. I think we can lay this backwards. Yeah, we can. That makes life a little bit easier. We can reverse back to just make these bits bigger, and it still does it. There are times it's not going to like what we're doing though, like now. But yeah, we need a big enough bend here that vehicles can get round, especially the longer vehicles. So we just need to make sure they can make the corner. Which I think that's perfect. This thing does have a mind of its own, pretty much similar to the first one of these we had. It can have a mind of its own at times. Why have we left mud there? That's weird. I thought we were doing... Whoa, that's gone off on its own there. Yeah, why have we left that there? I think we better sort that out. There's a bit of a gap we've left here, and I don't know why. So we're going to quickly sort that out while we're here. Makes no sense to leave a bit not connected when we can just connect it now while we're doing everything else, to be fair. Yeah, I don't quite know why I've left that, to be honest. I think originally, because we was only laying sand, I think I only did the bits that needed doing, and now we're going to do an actual proper road. Obviously, we need it all really done, ideally. This is the weird bit here where you have to turn, and you've got to wait until the gradient's not as bad, although it's quite dry here, so it's not too bad to reverse and turn that way. I think with longer vehicles that could potentially be a problem, but we'll have to get to that when we get to it, I think. Right, I don't quite know where I left the little gap, so we're quickly going to sort that out. The grader's there anyway, so it won't take long. Quickly put a bit of sand down and grade it, and then we'll continue with the asphalt layer. The rolling's going to take a bit of time, just because there's so much to roll. What I might actually quickly do, is this bend here. I'm going to put a bit more sand down on this bend just to make it a little bit easier to get around it. The other thing we have to think about is overtaking vehicles and things. If there's a convoy, obviously we want to avoid the convoy. So there are going to be times we may need to overtake. So having these areas where we can is helpful. Trying to get a bit of sand down here. It didn't quite go the way I wanted it to there. More this way. That's barely coming out, is it? Right, I think that should be okay. I've found the buttons for this, I don't know if it's me and I'm pressing them too quickly. I have found it can be a little bit temperamental at times. Right, come on. Just trying to get this in a position where we can leave it. I always like to have it refilled with sand as well. I don't like leaving it empty. Right. I think that's out of the way enough. Back into the grader, quickly sort this bit out. And then back to asphalt laying, tarmacking. I wonder why we call it two different things. I know obviously there are some American words instead of what we use. But I wonder why we called it two different things. I think maybe their asphalt in America may be different to our tarmac. It may be made slightly differently or different ingredients to make it, maybe. I don't quite know why it's different, to be fair. But yeah, I was saying at the start, I'm going to some little boys' secondary schools visits and stuff. So weird how much is the same. Bunsen burners in the lab still. Woodwork, still got the old woodworking tables that have got loads of cuts on them. And the old vices on the side and stuff. So weird. And I remember my school being quite big, like size-wise. There's lots of walking, things spread out, but also several levels. And my half was saying how big the school felt to her compared to what she went to school. Right, I think that's all good. Let's get this out of the way, and we'll carry on laying our tarmac / asphalt. So once this is done, I think we'll then fly through a lot of the missions, because everything will be done. Everything will be a lot easier to be done, if that makes sense. Okay. This is having a bit of a mind of its own at the minute. Just going to quickly go back on this edge bit here. This was just going to one side for a minute. I'll try and just fill that in a little bit. There we go. And we didn't grade this bit very well by the looks of it. I'm going to try and just quickly swing this round. Although that could be problematic. We didn't. Well, I should have probably graded this bit a bit better. Come on. Doesn't like it. Yeah, we didn't grade this bit very well by the looks of things. It's not liking it very much. There we go. The bottom, if you don't grade it very well, you can definitely tell when you're trying to lay the tarmac, because it won't do it. Just going to quickly go until we get the bend of this a little bit more. There we go. Obviously the corners, I think, is important to make sure we can, you know, we've got the wide stance if we can. Right, we'll go up towards the woods place that I can't... Logging? What is it called? Sawmill. That's the word I was after. We'll go up to the sawmill, do that bit first, then come back on ourselves, go all the way to the bridge. And then the job will be done for the time being. We need to then quickly do the road to the warehouse as well. Make this corner a bit wider. We're not laying a road down where the shortcut part is, mainly because I don't think we're going to use it that often. Now we've done the road, I don't think it will need using as much. This bend was made a bit wider, although saying that is mud there. It's not liking it. I'm stuck in the mud, that's why. Come on. Maybe probably should have put a bit more sand there, I think, on that right hand side. Although it's not too bad. I think we were just a bit too close to the other side there. Oh. I did say it has a mind of its own sometimes. Right, to the sawmill. I don't want to have to come and do 2 runs, I think that's a bit of a waste. So I'm just doing quick reverses on the bits that need a little bit extra. Like that. That's the shortcut down there. You still need, it's such a sharp turn though, it's not really that useful when you can turn just here. This bit's not really that wet, so you can get away with it quite well, I think. It's going to be interesting for the really long vehicles doing that turn. I might have to send them to the sawmill to turn around kind of thing, maybe. Right. I think this probably may be the longest continuous road we've built in the whole game. Or laid. Thank God local doesn't appreciate it. I'd say built, it's more laid, isn't it? But yeah, I think this is the longest continuous one we've done. And this may not be the last by far, because I'm sure there are going to be a lot more areas that are just as bad that may need this to happen for us to be able to navigate properly. Kind of gone a bit to the side there. I'd say long term I think this solves us some issues. Short term it just means time. We're in no rush to finish the map though, that's the thing. We want to make life as easy as possible for ourselves. So there is no rush to get to doing this. The actual mission we're going to do whilst the 2 routes are completing should be fairly simple. Right, that's that bit. Got to swing around this back corner here. We'll see how we go. We may need a bit more where the big crane is, but maybe not. It depends what we need to do here in the future, but I don't know, it might be alright. We'll see. If we have to put more here, we'll do that, but at the minute I think it should be fine, as is. Hopefully. It looks like you always see the steam coming off the asphalt as well. I'm not going to keep correcting myself and saying tarmac as well. Has anyone got anything planned for the weekend then? Any good things planned? I think we've got another school to look at tomorrow morning. Which is why I need to kind of rest today and recover from last night, yesterday evening. I think that's all we've got planned this weekend, to be fair. FIFA releases officially today as well for those that are interested in FIFA or FC or EAFC, I think it's called now, isn't it? My little boy, I've ordered it for him today. Last year we got it a week earlier, paid the extra. Because he's at school all week, it kind of seems pointless. The only thing you gain is some FIFA points or FC points, whatever they're called now. Come on. This thing's struggling a little bit here. I go a bit more this way. And stuff like that. But you still get a decent amount of packs from the standard edition for like Ultimate Team and stuff. Because at school, it's not really worth him having an hour or two in the evenings to play before we have dinner and stuff. So pay, I think it was like 30 quid more to buy the upgraded version, and it's just not worth the money. If you obviously play it religiously, haven't got work or school or whatever for that week where you play early, I can completely understand it. But last year it just seemed like a big waste. So I said to him we're getting standard. He was fine with that, to be fair. He hasn't got much choice in the matter, has he really? But it won't. Don't worry, it won't be on the channel. I won't be doing FC, EAFC. I want to call it FIFA still, because that's just how it's always been for me. But yeah, it won't be on the channel. It's just something for my little boy to play. He enjoys it. Although he enjoys it, but he'll make like 10 different careers and have them all on the go and not finish a season with any of them. It's generally what he does. Alongside a bit of Ultimate Team, to be fair. He's actually pretty good. I was really impressed last year with how well he was playing. He was beating people online quite heavily at times. So yeah, he did really well last year. Meant to be going to see brother, so yeah, no, completely understand that kind of argument. I think you need to take the time yourself, though. You just want to process things and just do them in your own mind. That's the thing. At the end of the day, you've got to do it your way. Everyone's got a different way of doing things, and you just got to do it your way. Yeah, I did see it's going to 2026. I think we already heard that or thought that anyway. There's not much has been said about it, so I think we kind of assumed it would be 2026 now. It was on the state of play. I haven't actually looked at the state of play, to be fair. The Sony did. Was it yesterday, day before? Come on, this thing is not happy on this corner. I keep meaning to catch up with what they actually announced, but yeah, I kind of knew it was going out 2026 anyway. Lack of information till now kind of said that, really. Come on. Struggling a little bit here. I don't quite know why. Right, we are going to quickly reverse it back for that bit. I think even the other asphalt layer isn't as wide as this one, so I don't think it would do any better than we're currently doing with this one. I think the issue is just they both have the mind of their own at times. But this is a long run now, all the way to the bridge. This should be okay. That bend needs to be a bit wider, doesn't it? Kind of got off of it there. Just wanted to try and make that bend a little bit wider. And now I need to get this to turn now. It's not happy. Come on. Obviously I don't want to fall down that hole. Anyway, long way. Turn the wrong way there. Well, I was going down the hole for sure. Come on, back on the road. There we go, back on the road. I'm just trying to make this a bit wider for the corner, and yeah, kind of slid off a bit there. There will be little patches maybe with mist, or as the sand wasn't fully down. I don't think it's going to affect the road too badly. You've got to have a pothole here and there, otherwise it wouldn't be a road, would it? You thought it was November, did you? No, I thought it was next year, to be fair. As I say, the lack of information till now kind of said that to me. We haven't seen too much about it either, annoyingly. I know they did showcase a bit of it at State of Play. I need to have a look. My biggest concern of it is going to be too family friendly, which goes against what the character is. I think that will be a game we do on the channel without a vote next year, for definite. So I've waited a long time for that one, so I think we'll do that one without a vote more than likely. Come on. This thing is really not happy at times. And it's like changing gradient or changing surface. This really does dislike it. And even driving, accelerating while turning, it sometimes doesn't even like that. Right, the majority of this though now should be the right width to not have to worry too much about going back on ourselves, apart from this bit maybe. It is turning to the right itself here, and it won't go forward while I'm trying to turn left. There we go, it's liking that bit. Right, we just need to quickly go back and make sure this corner's wide enough. There we go. Let's say this isn't the only asphalt we need to do. We need to do it to the warehouse as well, but that will come while this route's up and running. The other downside we may have with these, the two routes that are going to use this road potentially could meet each other, and they will just smash into each other. So if that happens, we'll have to reset the vehicles, but it shouldn't be too big a deal. We'll make that a little bit wider. So we'll flip turn the year. I think originally it was meant to be this year. I think when it was first announced, I think the kind of date they gave was 2025 as a rough guide originally. And then yeah, we just haven't really heard too much. It needs to not be too family friendly, otherwise it's not going to be a all green game, is it? That's the thing. You know, you need to see a bit of blood when you're slashing people, essentially. But yeah, we will be doing them live on the channel on release. I haven't really looked at this year. I don't think there's anything due out now that we're going to do on release now. I don't think there's anything really I'm that excited for. We've already voted on Ghost of Yotai. We're going to do that after release so we don't ruin the story for anyone. So there'll be a vote when we've got some space to do it. And if it wins, it wins. If it doesn't, we'll wait. It's not the end of the world. But it won't be on release because we already had that vote. Obviously, going back and forth, just making this a little bit wider in place and slowing us down. But it's just on the corners, just to make sure the bigger vehicles can actually swing around enough. You can just see where the end point in the distance there, though. That's what we're going to. Turn that way. Thank you. See, it's getting a bit big burst of speed occasionally, like I'm going, and then it suddenly stops itself. I'm going to be glad when this is done. As I say, this doesn't feel like we're progressing much, but it will speed everything else up going forward. It just feels like we're not doing much at the minute, but it is necessary. The convoys will not make otherwise. We did test this out. We did actually, on the last stream, set the convoys off, but they just got stuck with us straight away. Come on. Doesn't want to turn right here to straighten up. Still think this one is better than the other asphalt layer. Obviously wider, so that makes a difference, but I think the other one would have struggled even more than this one is. Some of it is to do with my sand laying, I must admit. No, exactly. I think it has to be. You have to see a bit of blood, otherwise it's not the same, is it? I'm hoping they will do that. I think hopefully it will be a bit darker. So we've not really seen too much to really know for sure, have we? That's the thing. Whoa! Decided to spin itself round on its own. It wasn't intended in the slightest. There. Come on. Can't get it to turn now. Somehow we need to spin this back round. Don't even know what happened there. Just decided to spin. Right, let's deactivate it. That should help make a difference. Did we catch the rock maybe a little bit as we were going past? That may have what's caused a spin there. I didn't even expect it. I didn't catch it at all. Right. Come on, we're so close to getting this done. Let me get this rolling done. The rolling should be fairly quick. It's not as fiddly as this. There you go, spinning again there. He does not like that bit. Not in the right place at all there. Okay, probably should go back a bit there. Should be okay. Yeah, I think the rolling won't be nowhere near as bad as this. The rolling should be fairly quick. This is where there's a big load of water here. Again, this thing's moving around so much. Be alright. Right, stay straight. Come on. Bridge is just up there, so we're nearly done with this bit. And then, as I say, we've got the rolling to do. And then we've got another literal road to make that will join this one to the warehouse. Oh no, this is where the big load of water was actually. Yeah, it's good. I'm not being massively precise, but I also don't. I want to make sure we've not missed massive sections and may affect things going forward. Yeah, there's a load of water here, which you can still see actually. May need to come back on ourselves just to get the other side of this stuff. This is quite wide here. The bridge is further away than I thought actually. I thought we were nearly there, but it's around this corner yet. We'll come back on ourselves to make that a little bit wider in a second. We've got to get this closer to where we're going to make the other road anyway, so not too bad here coming back on ourselves. I just didn't want to do it early on. Start. I've used to have jumped up a bit than normal. I do find this on a Friday. We do get more viewers on a Friday than we do sometimes during the week. I know we're still recovering from summer holidays, and the lack of consistency over the summer holidays has massively affected things. But we expected that. But yeah, it just seems views have gone up a bit today. Too far to one side, get stuck on that little hill there. We'll need to check the convoy routes we set up before we built the road and they failed. Was the mud. We'll need to double check them to make sure they are actually on the road itself. Instead of just setting them back off. They should be, near enough. But we'll see. Come on. Don't turn like that. So close to being done for the minute. And then we do need to turn around. I'm hoping we don't need to do the other side of the bridge. I don't think we do currently, but in the future maybe. You can see obviously there's standing water over there. It's not horrific, but we may have to come back and do it in the future. The other thing, we had to use the wood for this wooden bridge here because we couldn't use anything else. And that was just from the loose wood we found laying around, to be fair. I do prefer to make the concrete bridges where we can. Find them a lot better, but obviously we haven't got any concrete plant up and running yet, so no concrete bridge. Right, just a little bit on the edge on this left hand side we need to do as we head back. I want to get this back closer to the warehouse anyway, where we're going to do the next bit of road, so it makes sense to head back anyway. Find somewhere solid to park up. When it's on ground it enjoys. You can see the actual speed so you take a boost with this. But it doesn't find road the surface that it enjoys that often. That's the only problem. Yeah, the roller should be a hell of a lot quicker than this. Is there any more? Can I turn it off, I wonder? There's another section actually coming up here. I don't think necessarily has to be this wide here, although this is a good passing place, to be fair, if we see everyone coming on towards us. It'll enable us to pass, essentially. It rains again. This map is going to constantly rain, I think. The one game that I play religiously every year, and it's something that we don't feature on the channel either, is Football Manager. I played it religiously since I was a kid. And that's due out soon as well, to be fair. Right, I think that's all of it. So this section just here, we're just coming up to this bit up over here is where we're going to build the next bit. So we need to park this a little bit closer to that. It's just the asphalting itself is done. We just need to park this up somewhere close to that turning, ready for when we've got that bit done, which will be while this other convoy's running. Just need somewhere with solid ground, really, where this won't get stuck. Actually see the warehouse up there, actually. Right, there's some solid ground on the right hand side coming up here, so we'll leave this there, and then we've got to roll this all off, roll this out, and then we'll set the convoy up and leave ourselves to do the other road while it's in the convoy, and then we'll start actually clearing some missions, hopefully. That's the plan. We're going to be okay here. I think so. Right, it's definitely out of the way enough. So we need to jump back into the garage, grab a roller. We've got the Ironing Roadworks 750R, which I think is the better version, 3232, and we've got the DS55K, which is 2232. So yeah, the other one, the Ironing Roadworks, is definitely the better brand, it seems, on everything that they do. It's a wider roller than the other one as well, which does make a big difference. Let's turn it on. Now we may need to come back on ourselves, because even though this is wider, it's quite, the whole thing here is quite wide. And it will still, no matter how close to the edge we are, it will still leave a gap that's unrolled. The edge is always unrolled. Just the way the roads are set up. Man, this is quick. That's quicker than I was expecting, to be fair. Right, we'll probably quickly spin round where the heavy sand layer machine dumper truck is, and to go back on ourselves. Yeah, definitely complete difference in the speed compared to laying the asphalt, isn't it? Stay left here and we'll come back down the middle with a bit intimate miss, I think. But yeah, let's hopefully get this done in no time, and then we are working forwards. We'll get some missions done. What are we? An hour in and we haven't completed a mission yet. That's the thing, sometimes the prep work takes a long time. Once it's done, you can then do a lot more quickly. Right, swing this round, backing ourselves there. Yeah, you can see even though we've done the edge, it leaves a bit of unrolled tarmac at the edge. Asphalt tarmac. There's nothing we can do about that. So shiny. Perfect. Right, let's crack on with the going forward. That'll hopefully be wide enough for the bigger vehicles to turn to make the corner there. So far though, although we've not really completed any missions, we're making good progress. Considering how big this road is. Okay, we'll come back on the other side, the right hand side in a minute. Trying to keep this as wide as we can here. A bit all over the place. I don't know how much the grip level changes when it's the unrolled tarmac to rolled tarmac. I would assume it still gives you a decent amount of grip. What we'll do is swing it around here and go back on ourselves just to get that bit done. This bit's going to end up being quite thing. We could have tarmac to the right hand side to make it a turning area, but I don't think we need to. I think it's probably hard enough there with the rocks and stuff to make it. It's going to be an interesting one to see how we deal with that corner, I think. See where the tarmac machine is quite late on the right hand side there, it's fine. It's I don't think we're going to lose out massively on grip there. It's not the end of the world for a little bit there. You can actually see the pattern in the tarmac, in the asphalt tarmac, as you roll over it as well. I didn't know that. Didn't notice that. But just that extra level of detail. You just see the marks, and then it hardens up, and then the marks are gone. This bit's a little bit uneven there, isn't it? That's quite uneven, to be fair. I didn't realise how uneven that bit was until just now. Reverse back and grab this bit here. So here's the bits we've widened that. Obviously we're going to go over more than once. That corner does look wide enough now to actually be fine. Right, well the next bit is all the way to the sawmill. I say we still have another road to build, but it's not nowhere near the size of this one. This one will hopefully perfect. I'd say we could have just left it sand, but I kind of felt that it potentially would mean we'd have to keep going back and sorting things out with it. Whereas generally tarmac we never have to return to do anything. It is normally absolutely fine as is. The only concern would be if we have to put power down anywhere, power cables. We'll have to deal with that if we do, if we come to that. Right, there's a couple of extra bits here to do. How wide some of it is. But that's the sawmill nearly done. Better sort this bit out to the left as well there. We'll reverse back in a second. We're getting there. Let's say it does feel like we're not progressing much, only because we've got to do this to make the convoys work. I think a lot of the stuff in the game would be quicker if we didn't have to deal with convoys. The AI drivers, I still believe, are some of the best AI drivers we've had in any game. I think the way they actually sort themselves out is really good. But at the same time, the conditions are tough and they're using the Wayfarer especially, they will struggle no matter what. I can't see the Wayfarer being useful at all on this one, unless we get to any concrete sections, tarmac sections. I can't see us using that really that much at all on this one. I say this is the final map before the DLC as well. I'm looking forward to some of the new vehicles DLC, the bridge layers especially. I think that's the big thing of the DLC is the bridge layers. And we have got some of the kit ones. I think the kit are just a different design for some of the vehicles. So the rescue minimum vehicle, that's got a different design that we can buy. It says kit, so that's what I'm assuming kit is standing for. That was added in with the DLC, I believe. Right, we are going to have to go back down the middle there. How much middle did we miss? Only to there, it's not too bad. It's amazing how many imperfections you can see when as soon as you roll the asphalt. You know, the different deviation and gradient, all because our sand wasn't laid evenly, essentially. Okay, obviously we're back into the middle bit here. Just wait until we got to a point of where it made sense to turn around, or just reverse, essentially. I think we are quicker going forward and back, so we'll swing it around there. We'll do that middle bit all the way there. And then we're heading towards the bridge. Again, we may need to come back on ourselves. I think it will take, we'll stick to one side and then come back on the other side from the bridge. We've got to come back this kind of way to the warehouse road, which is next, so this will be closer to that going back anyway. Right, that's that bit done. So that now means the base operations are now connected to the sawmill. I'll make the sawmill stuff a lot easier. Right, send towards the bridge. And then we're nearly done. And then we've got to build the smaller one. It does feel like this takes a long time, but as I say, we don't have to do this, but it will make life easier. far left as I would have liked there, really. I know it leaves an edge, but I felt like we kind of missed a bit there. We're going to have to come back on ourselves anyway, so we'll just stick to the left hand side as much as we can. Oh. So the actual main mission we've got to do shortly will be really easy. Clear 2 areas and just get to another one with the scout vehicle, which is the Kernel, which is already there, so that shouldn't be too bad at all. Probably too far left at times, that. That's the warehouse on the right hand side that we're going to be doing a road towards shortly. I think it is anyway. Yes it is. Doubted myself when I said it then. Definitely gone too far that way then. Come back to myself then. Too busy spinning the camera around to see if that was where I thought it was. Then go off completely there. As I say, we're going to come back on ourselves, so we'll just stick to the left hand side, come back on the other side in a minute. And with the next road we're doing is actually this bit on the right hand side here. And that swings round to the warehouse. I don't think a convoy is going to make that bit at all anyway, so we're going to have to do that. It's just underwater. So yeah, you can see how bad that is there. The convoy is not making that. Once we've got enough logs in storage from the mission, the convoy I should say, we'll then deliver that to sawmill to get that done. We'll wait until we've got 15 in storage first. It's a side mission, there's no real rush, but once you've got it, we might as well do it. I know there's a couple of loose ones there, but we'll save those until we really need them, I think. Because you never know if you're going to need another bridge somewhere. But we're making progress, we're getting there. I know we've not really fulfilled any missions yet, but this will make that easier. Okay, just round here and then we're heading towards the bridge. We're going to turn around, we'll come back on ourselves and then we'll set the convoy off. That's going from base operations to the sawmill, I think. Or is it from here to the sawmill? One or two. It's 2 different ones. One's warehouse, one's sawmill. We'll set them off. Hopefully, this has solved all the issues. We did set them off previously in Tuesday's stream. Well, yeah, Tuesday's. No, it's Friday today, isn't it? Wednesday's stream. I think Wednesday. I've lost my track of days a week. We did set the convoys off in the previous stream of RoadCraft. Let's do that. And they both failed very quickly on the mud, which is why we decided to do this. And as I say, we did and ah about leaving it just sand-based, but I thought save us some coming back and fixing bits. Long term, this will just save us time. Should have actually crossed the bridge properly to turn down there. Right, are we wide enough to get all of this, or am I going to miss a bit? I'm going to miss a bit, aren't I think. We'll go to where it thins out, and then I'll quickly do the bit on the left-hand side. There we go. Do not want to go in that water. When you roll this, you can actually see it compressing it and making it slightly wider than you put down as well. There's little details that you notice that I think make RoadCraft so good. The way the terrain moves and things is really impressive. we missed a bit there. Yeah, not much. Slightly too wide. To be fair, as long as we're more middle, I think we can leave a bit of the edge on the left. I don't think if you miss bits of the tile, as long as it's massive amounts, I think it will still give you the same amount of grip. Obviously, if it's massive amounts, it's going to be different, but I think the majority is fine. Although I don't like seeing it, because I do think we've not done it properly. I don't mind leaving the odd bit, odd pothole and things, but I like the tarmac to be rolled properly where we can. Here it's quite wide there, isn't it? I can't leave it. There's bits like this bit here we can go a little bit wider. I can't just leave it. I feel like we haven't done the job properly. And not all of it will actually roll down because it always leaves an edge. But yeah, I just feel like we're not done it properly if we leave it. Right, we're getting there though. We are nearly there. Me going a little bit off centre there. Don't like missing bits, it's annoying. We don't probably need to be that precise, but I can't help myself. I am hoping to get some of the episodic content back next week as well. I know we obviously missed Far Cry yesterday afternoon. I was out of it the afternoon. I was actually in lunch again and fell asleep during lunch. I was fine during the stream, but yeah, just really lost out yesterday afternoon before we had to go to these school visits. But yes, I'm hoping SnowRunner should be on this weekend as planned, and hopefully next week or the week after, Wreckfest and Metal Gear Solid 2 will be on the channel. That's my hope and my plan anyway. I just need the drowsiness to stop. My only concern is that we know we had a rough night last night because of the amount of walking I did last night. But I need to get SnowRunner done today. That's going to be an interesting one. Okay, we are just about there, aren't we? Mainly to come back through the middle here. We're actually missing a bit in the middle because we made the corners as wide as we could, or very wide. We are actually missing bits. But we want this closer to where we build the next bit of road anyway, so it's not the end of the world coming back on ourselves. Nice to see that convoy working though. That's when we know we're making progress. We see convoys actually heading out and doing their thing. Right, we are nearly done with this bit anyway. Just a bit more, and then we'll come back on ourselves to the middle bit and park this up near the next bit anyway, and then we'll set this convoy off, and it should not have an issue, fingers crossed. I say that now, it'll fail immediately, so it's silly. But yeah, it shouldn't have an issue. This should be perfect for it, hopefully. Right, turn around here, we'll head back. And then this bit done. It does feel like this takes a while, but it's a long run. That's the thing. I still think it's the longest continuous road we've done in the whole game, and on the final map as well. They've definitely made the final map harder. Sojourn, the penultimate map we finished on Wednesday, I felt was really easy. Probably the easiest map we've done, bar the first one. It just, everything went really well. There was no real massive issues with convoys. And we 100%ed it as we always did, as we planned to anyway. Yeah, no issues really at all with that one. This one, on the other hand, they've tried. It does seem like they've tried to make the final map pretty difficult to navigate and do until you lay roads down. So although it is optional to do these roads, obviously there are big advantages to doing so. And on some maps there's no need to. Sojourn, I don't think we laid really any roads that weren't mission based I can think of. Whereas this, we've got to do it immediately, otherwise we can't do half the things. So it is needed. But I believe this is just about there. I want to try and park this roughly where the asphalt layer is anyway, as this will be used afterwards. Yeah, I think that is us done. The rolling. So we'll set the convoy off, and then we've got a little bit more road to make that will join this one, this right hand side here. We'll get to that in a second. I'll try and park this up. Obviously don't want a convoy to catch it or anything, so I'm just trying to park on this left hand side. It's a little bit harder ground. Right, convoy time. So the convoy we want to do first, we want to go to the sawmill. So this route is coming from the logistics terminal to the sawmill. Now previously, obviously you can see we set the route and it failed after the bridge because there was a big drop, lots of mud. So we just need to make sure this is definitely on the tarmac. I don't want it to be like this bit here, coming off the edge, in the middle as much as possible. That way we know it should be comfortable. Obviously depending on the vehicle it's using. I can't remember which one it's using actually. But they all should be fine on the tarmac. It's just, depending on the vehicle they're using, is how wide they take the corners. And I think we'll try to make it as wide as we can on the corners, to kind of alleviate that where possible. Right, we need the one in the middle here to bring this round a bit. But yeah, we should be able to forget about this. And you can see the rewards. It needs 4 trucks in total to make this journey for all the rewards. So this should be fairly simple, hopefully. And then we've still got another little bit to do. Where you can see the other route is actually planned out, where we tried to let them go last time, and they failed pretty quickly because of the mud. The issue we're going to have is if these trucks meet, but we'll just have to send one off and then set the other one afterwards. That should be okay. The only thing we're not too sure of is the sawmill itself, where it actually goes into the yellow garage. I'm hoping it ghosts kind of when it's still straight on, rather than trying to turn in the garages, because potentially that could be an issue. We've tried to do it as best we can there, but there's a potential that, depending on how wide it needs to turn, that it may not make the turn that well, and that could pose us a problem. But we don't know how it's going to work until it actually gets there. Sometimes they ghost fairly early when they're in the vicinity, and that helps massively. You can see the bit we missed there. Look at that. I don't quite know how we missed that, but there we go. Alright, make sure it's still more in the middle. As I say, this should have no issues now that road's done. I'm saying it out loud, hoping that that's the truth, to be fair. We should be fine. You can see we've had to make the other one turn round previously. We're going to have to sort that out when we do that one. But we need the warehouse route done first. It won't make the route to the warehouse without us doing a bit more road there, as it is really bad. We got a little bit stuck with our log forwarder trying to get down there, to be fair, where there's some loose logs for the bridge we did. So we know how bad it is there, which is why we've got to go and sort it out. Right, there's its finish point. As I say, I'm hoping once it gets there, it should just ghost and go in. This, we couldn't lay tarmac here anyway, it wouldn't allow us to. So that is that one set to go. Let's leave that going. Off he goes. So while that's doing its thing, we need to head now to our heavy dumper. And we need to lay sand on this bit down here and build a road here that goes to the warehouse. Otherwise we won't be able to complete that convoy. Downside is we're going to have to pass the vehicle we just set off, which could be problematic. So I'm hoping we can pass in a decent spot. It will just ram us if we don't get out of its way, so it's down to us to move rather than the vehicle coming towards us. So we just need to hopefully meet it in a really good spot, otherwise we may have an issue. Although if it fails we can just set it off again once we pass. But I kind of do want to make sure we can avoid it where possible. Oh, don't do that. Because I've gone too wide there. It's not ideal. Me being silly. Right, again, we've got to make this turn. This turn is annoying, but we can turn around on this ground here because it is solid. We'll know when the convoy's near because you'll hear their radio going as if they're like communicating. And we can actually see it. There it is, going around the bend over there. Doing well so far. Where can we stay? Get out this way. Left hand side here maybe? Probably a best bet. Coming around there, yeah, we'll stick to this left hand side. All going to depend on how I set the route up. I think we're wide enough to avoid it here. And then we can get to where we're going. Just, you know, little passing place. We got lasers radio. So the bit of road we've got to do next isn't that big, to be fair. It's just going to be, because it is so bad mud-wise, we haven't got much choice, I don't think. But I'm pretty happy with how the road's gone. It's taken us a while to get it done. As I say, it should make life so much easier going forward. I can't quite remember the story here, to be fair, for this final map. There is, obviously, each map has a story. I want to say earthquakes, I think, but I could be wrong there. Can't quite remember how the story goes. But objective complete. There we go. Operations at the sawmill are done. Now the convoy will continue running because we still get extra rewards. Now the convoy's done, but that is mission complete. At least. So then this is the one we're working on next. Plan the route to Northern Tunnel. But the one that's running, there's still 1,000 XP and 2,600 cash still to achieve, and that will keep going until that's done. I think even it runs until after it's done as well. But you just don't get any rewards for it after that. The big one is this one though with the logs. We need logs for the logging station, and this is the one we need to get done for that to happen. It's got to be a little bit wary about putting sand down here, mainly because I don't want to do anything to the road just done. We are going to need enough down to cover the water here. I think we're down a little there with it. I think I struggle a little bit with getting the sand down. I'm definitely not that even with it. Goes against the realism side when we can move while filling, to be honest, but it doesn't enable us to actually get things done. I don't think I can tip it while filling though. Like that. Whoa! Came out a bit too much there, didn't it? You can see the water ahead of us. This is why we need this road here, because of also all that water that's there as well. It's not coming out very evenly again, is it? Let's go back. Grading will spread this pretty well, to be fair, so although it's not coming out massively evenly, it will spread pretty well. But yeah, this section of water is obviously one of the big issues you've got here. And this is the route we need to work for the actual logs, for the sawmill, so, and for making bridges and stuff going forward. So we do need this route to be usable. I did consider a bridge, to be fair, but I think sand should be okay. We'll find out in a second. I don't think it warrants a bridge as such. It's not like it is a proper river or anything. I don't know how much sand it will take to get out of the water. Not too much, actually. The only thing with this, I'll try and make this wide, I think, because otherwise we run the risk of not having enough width on it to actually get the vehicle around the corner. We don't want it to go off the edge and go into the water, really, do we? So we do want to make this quite wide if we can. There we go. So it's not a big bit of road we've got to do here. It's just so we can access the warehouse and get the convoy there. It's just this bit coming up here, and then that's the job done. That route's completed another run with another vehicle, so that's gained more XP and more money. We've still got no tokens. There is an actual other sand pit to use, but currently we can't use it because we haven't got any tokens to activate it. There's no mission currently that gives us tokens. They used to be fuel, but it changed in an update a little while back, so it's no longer fuel. It's now, I think it's called tokens. But yeah, that was originally fuel before they added the modifiers to how difficult and realistic you make it. It's a shame they didn't have that at the start when we started. Obviously, we could use the new modifiers now to make it realistic with fuel and damage, but when we first started, it wasn't a thing, so we couldn't access them. And we'd have to now start a new save if we wanted to do that, which means doing every map again, which I don't see the point of. I understand why it's not save compatible. It's just a shame, because we do like our realism. Right, last little bit of road here. I don't know how much it will let us lay going towards this. It may not let us tarmac all the way to it. There we go, I'm able to pull sand. So yeah, it may not let us lay tarmac all the way there. Just make this little turn a bit better. Then we'll come and grade all this. And then we've got our own mission to do in a second as well. There we go. Come on. Right, we'll park this over here. It doesn't actually need to be anywhere at this point, so that is done with for the time being. See how deep the wheels sink down there? Wow. Right, grader, which is over here. Again, I don't want to meet the vehicle that's oncoming while we're driving the grader. That will not be a good thing. That's a sand we spilt there accidentally. Can we just quickly push that? Just so if something does go on it, it's not going to mess up because there's a big pile of sand. It's now a flattened sand. We'll need to swing this round like we did the heavy dumper, but this can spin on itself, so a lot easier to make this corner than it was with the grader. Only all vehicles can spin like that, eh? A little bit of drift in there. Right, we're going to keep an eye out for the vehicle coming towards us. I think we're safe to keep going. Because there's not many places to let it pass, that's the only thing. the other two vehicles we need for this little bit of road are both nearby to it, so it should be a lot easier for them. Where's the truck? These are the tracks that we can actually go on any ground to kind of avoid it. If I could drive straight, it would probably help though. This thing does do really well in all conditions, which is really helpful. Can't see the convoy anywhere. It's still coming, I'm sure, but can't see it. Which means we got away with it, really. I was concerned we'd end up bumping into it. Right, we need to grade this bit here. Make sure our asphalt construction isn't on when we start moving. Okay, this is a bit, we've done quite heavy on sand here. I wouldn't say on purpose, to be fair. So we'll probably have to come back on ourselves there, kind of level out a bit better. Just see how it goes over the water here. Hopefully it's fully covered. Otherwise we're going to need to put a bit more sand down. Depends how well it covers it. Thank you for the like, followers, much appreciated. Paul, good morning, how are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, views today, I'm a lot different to normal. Fridays does seem a better day for views, it seems. I know, as I've said previously, our stream times aren't really good for anyone. You know, in the UK, people at work, in Europe, they're at work or school. In America, it's early hours in the morning. So our stream times aren't the best for anyone. So views are always going to be lower than other people that can stream at better times. But yeah, some days are definitely better than others in terms of views. And obviously, we lost out because of our consistency over the summer. It affected the channel negatively. But we are getting that back slowly. But yeah, today we're already at over 100 views already. And we've still got 2 hours to go. It's pretty good. Right, we've still level this out a bit more. Obviously, it's quite high in places. And then we get the asphalt laid / tarmac. Peachy Friday, innit? Yeah, absolutely. Got that Friday feeling, eh? You anything planned for the weekend, Paul? Okay, we've definitely covered the water there, which is good. I'll try and get rid of some of this hill here. Making this a bit wider. Definitely better. And we just want to make sure we join the roads as well quite well. Without too much of a drop. If there's a drop, we could get stuck, that's the only thing, when it joins the road. Yeah, I think that's okay. Right, spin this round. I just want to quickly do one more little bit on this edge. Especially around here. And then we can lay the asphalt down and we are nearly good to go on another main mission convoy. And that will start giving us the wood we need for the side mission as well. Do this edge here. But yeah, that's covered the water really well actually. I was a bit unsure because that's deeper than I think the other water we did, to be fair. That has covered it pretty well. See if we can just push this edge out a little bit. It needs to be massive, but just enough. There we go, so that's quite good. I do love this grader, it's so much easier to use. Right, there we go. Park this up, let's get the asphalt laid. At least this is a very quick road to make, it's not very big or wide. I think we'll have to go up and down a few times with the asphalt layer though. Looking at it, we have made it quite wide, to be fair, wider than I was actually meant to do, I think. Although it's our own road, we can make it as we want, can't we? I say as we're meant to, it's down to us. It's not a mission road as such, so. don't know what happens if you lay asphalt on asphalt. I should have checked first. It's failed because of me. Yeah, I should have looked through the camera first before doing that. I need to actually put the handbrake on. That's definitely 100% on me there. I had it. Is that going to restart? It's going to restart the whole route. Yeah. Because it's actually already, the mission itself is done. It's now extra rewards. It starts back from where the start point is. Not the end of the world for us. But yeah, I should have looked first before starting off. Steady. There we go. Oh, it's mileage, you don't lose money. No, I was expecting us to lose a lot more subscribers than we did. Considering we weren't as active anywhere near like we have done previous summer holidays. You know, it was just a tough one the way it's been recently. I think losing afternoon streams has definitely not helped either, but can't do afternoons currently. And I thought the CPAP machine would help, and it has helped with the drowsiness a bit. I think the benefits we gained from it have now kind of disappeared. If that makes sense. I'm definitely sleeping better when the pain is not as bad, but the pain is still the biggest thing. So I'm still really drowsy. Why are you not turning? I'm still drowsy in the afternoons, and I can't seem to get rid of that. For the first couple of weeks of using the machine though, it definitely made a big difference. But it seems to have reverted back to how it was before the machine, and I'm struggling massively in the afternoons again. You know, which has just affected editing massively. I don't want to lose a streaming day so we can edit. That's my only big thing. We've had to do it previously, I really don't want to do it. A month or two, I think. I don't think it's a massive long time. I know it's very early on. I know it's not very long. But I kind of want results now, if that makes sense. It's one of those. And we saw results fairly quickly. That was the big thing, I think. And I think that's why I'm a bit impatient with it. Because we did see some benefits straight away. Whereas now the benefits have kind of disappeared a bit. I now am getting impatient with it. And I kind of just want to see benefits again. But I know it's more of a long-term fix. Yeah, maybe actually. It's not a bad suggestion. I might have to get a hold of them and just see. Because yeah, like I say, it had a big effect early on, and now the kind of benefits have gone, bar the actual better sleep. But that all depends on pain levels more than anything else. Which we knew would always be another problem. That's the thing. The machine can only do so much, it can't control pain. So we've got one more appointment as well in November. It's a physio appointment for this pathway for the spinal surgery. We need to pass that and then wait for an evaluation, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we're eligible. And some point next year, hopefully springtime next year, we'll be having the spinal surgery, and then I'll become half robot, as I'll have a machine in my spine. I need to sit down with them as well. There's something they have to do before you have the surgery. They talk about what you can and can't do going forward once you've got this machine in you. Like there'll be no bungee jumping or parachuting and stuff like that, which I can't do now anyway. So I'm not really losing out, to be fair. But I don't know. I want to know if I can go on roller coasters or not. That's my big one. Obviously, we don't know how much of a benefit we'll gain from it, though. Hopefully, more than and the good result they've said is 50% reduction in pain. That's their aim, essentially. But because I have the back problem along with the CRPS, they don't know which is going to make the back worse or better. That's the big unknown. And the concern as well, to be fair, because it could make the back worse, which leaves me worse off if that's the case. The amusing thing will be charging it, because to charge the RoboCop, exactly. To charge it, you have to wear a belt. It's a magnetic belt that charges the machine in your spine, which is quite cool. But yeah, I'm hoping it does something. It reduces the pain in the foot, so I sleep better. That then gives us more benefits all round. I won't regain the movement in the foot. The machine can't do miracles. but it will hope. Well, we're hoping 50% reduction in pain is a massive amount of reduction to what we have now every day, day in, day out, 24/7. That's the thing. Hopefully that will mean we don't have to keep taking the extra painkillers we take daily on top of the prescribed ones. That's the thing, because it's not healthy to take as much as we're taking. Right, we're good there. It's all on this physio appointment though. He could completely throw us out of the evaluation and say no, it's not going to work. So it's not guaranteed as of yet. But hopefully, and hopefully if the surgery is successful and we get a big reduction in pain, there is a chance I can return to work. What that means for the channel, I don't know. It's all going to depend obviously how much the back is affected. You know, it may help the back as well, that's the thing. It may make it worse, we just don't know. It may be the same. But yeah, I just want to go back to work. It's been nearly 5 years now since the accident. I just want to go back to work. Well, I don't even know what kind of work we could do going forward. Obviously it won't be physical, because the foot won't regain the actual movement, so it's probably going to be more desk-based of some sort, which I really don't want to do, but I also understand I don't have a choice. Right, we are nearly done with this. We're just going to go back down the middle. So this time there's no convoy, so we're not going to hit anything. We did miss a little patch there, but that's beached, never mind. Don't beach it. That's not good. Can we reverse still? Yeah. There's a bit of a hole there. We've kind of gone in. Come on, over there we go. Yeah, we missed a little bit there. You can see where we kind of missed a little patch there for the join. Can't leave that. That's bugging me that I can see that. Let's just go this forward a bit. I'm going to have to fix that little gap there. It's going to bug me knowing that's there otherwise. Right, swap to the asphalt, which is here. Luckily, everything's nearby. We're just going to spin this round. I just can't leave that little bit undone, because it looks horrendous. It probably won't affect anything. I don't think it'll affect any grip vehicles. It won't get any vehicle. Probably won't get stuck in it, but I know it's there. Not done it. A bit. I may have stopped the machine a little bit early. There we go. Quickly roll that in and that'll be fine. But yeah, I just couldn't leave that, knowing that was there. There we go. Right, back to the roller. Quickly finish off rolling this. Set the convoy up. And then we will go and clear the terminal and get that mission done. And then we'll be receiving wood from the convoy. That all planned, yeah. And then we'll be making progress. I'll come back to myself. Not quite wide enough there. Yeah, I don't think... I think Robocop's really quite cool. I don't 100% know what things we can't do going forward. I don't think flying will be a problem. Although we don't know what that will do to the actual CRPS, because it can affect that because of the air pressure. So then the implant won't stop that. Oh, we got another dodgy bit there. Although that we can class that as a pothole. That's not so bad. We'll class that as a pothole. We're gonna have some little gaps. We've got a pothole somewhere. Wear and tear on the road. Comes the rain again. Right, we're just going to quickly do this middle bit. We'll have to come back again. It's we've made this extremely wide, to be fair. We definitely, I don't think, needed it as wide as it is, but there we go. Now what we're going to do is hope we don't have to lay any electricity cables underneath any of this. Otherwise we're going to have to destroy it to actually lay the cables, then relay it. But we won't know that until later on, I don't think. I don't think we will need to lay cables here because I think everything here is powered anyway. So I don't think we'll need to destroy the road for cables, hopefully. Anyway, I can't see it. I don't see a reason for it currently. That rain is really coming down now. There we go, last bit done. I just need to park this up somewhere. And then we will set off the other convoy which will deliver the wood for us. And then while it's doing that, we'll go to the terminal and do the mission there. Now this is done. It's taken a while to get both roads done, but the convoys are now working successfully, which was the aim. So mission wise, this is plan the route from the northern tunnel, which is where base operations is, back up here, to the warehouse, which is where we just did. So this will give us the wood we need to do the sawmill mission as well, plus extra. There is loose wood around, but whether there's enough, I don't know. So because of that, this is really important, this one. Right, we just got to double check that obviously we are actually, it's green because it made it a certain distance last time. But we've got to double check that, the road is actually on the tarmac. So over here, there it goes off a little bit. So we just need to make sure this is in the perfect place. It made it to the corner turn over here on its own without all this being laid. I think we had sand down and that was it. So it did okay. But yeah, it struggled as soon as we hit proper mud. And obviously it needs to turn round here as well. And we didn't make a big turning point here, which maybe we should have done with the tarmac. But I'm hoping it's okay. It's one of those, we don't know how this turn will go. I'm hoping it'll be okay, but it's one of those really. Doesn't like that, does it? Can we go? It's a bit too thingy for it. It's still not liking that. It's too much of an angle, which is not liking. We can push it a little bit over there. I don't know if it was stuck in the rock. We'll have to see how that works there, I think. We could have laid a big tarmac area here to make it easier to turn round to get down this angle, but I didn't think it would be needed as much. We'll see. I'm hoping it won't be. Again, it's going to depend on whatever vehicle they're using. If it's a Wayfarer, we might have some issues. Right, let's make this wide of the bed. Obviously, we don't also want both the convoys hitting each other, but we can't stop that if it happens. We'll have to reset them. Okay, this looks okay. This bit goes off a little bit here, so we need to make sure it's on. Put that a little bit in there. Again, round the corner here. Don't want it too close to the edge, as that can cause problems. And then a little bit up here. Again, the same here. Keep going along. I just want to bring this a bit wider here to allow for the turn. And we have made the turn quite wide, so we might as well utilise the space as much as possible to make it a little bit easier to turn. Obviously, there's no water to go through anymore, which will make a big difference as well. The other route has completed another delivery, which is really good. There we go. Right, we can dispatch that off. 30 wood, 2 per truck, and this will be a main mission complete once it completes its route once. Hopefully, has no problems. For us, we're now heading to the logistics terminal. We've got 2 areas to clear and reach a location, so we haven't got a crane over here. Our crane is currently, well, the best crane we have is here. So we need to drive that down there. We could take a different one. I'm just trying to think. Should we take something else there? What kind of stuff are we picking up? No, big containers and stuff. We need a proper heavy crane. By the looks of things. Yeah, I think we take our best heavy crane. If we need another one by the sawmill, the base of operations is nearby, so it's not the end of the world if we need another crane here. It's because we had to clear this area earlier on, before we laid the road. What the mission was to clear that area, so we needed a crane for that. I think there's only one crane we haven't brought now, but it's not a heavy crane. And for the containers, we've found we need a heavy crane. It's better on the containers than the smaller one. We have got the tracked one. So, right, the vehicle's turning. It's not going to make the turn. So on the map, we didn't quite see all them rocks. You can see all the rocks there. They weren't there when we did. You can't see them as easily. So it is still turning. Can it make it round there? In fact, it's meant to turn here, but it's gone all the way down there. But it is making it back on the road there. So yeah, it did okay. It went a lot further than we thought. I think it gained speed coming down the hill, and that's why it went so far forward. But it actually did okay there. Now the other convoy is... Oh, the other part... There's actually another vehicle there, which I think is part of this convoy still. There's more than one vehicle delivering the wood then, to the warehouse. So both of them need to succeed for that mission to complete as well. Obviously they are slower than us. There's not very many places to overtake, so we have to hold off ourselves a bit. We're heading to the terminal, which is where the bridge is, that we made earlier. We're already 2 hours in. Wow, today is flying. Crazy Irishman, did you see the big fight we had in yesterday's stream of Shadows? Because that was a very, very tricky fight in Shadows. Okay, they're going to turn right in a minute, so there's no rush, but we'll just hold off here a little bit. We have already got a scout vehicle there to get to the bit of where you need to go and just get to. There we go. I think that route should complete fairly simply if that vehicle gets there. So the only issue we may have is the turning point, but other than that we should be fine. The road's a little bit bumpy in places. I don't think we've done too bad with the road though, especially how the length of it is the biggest road we've built. I think we've done okay. That's a bit of a jump there. Mission complete, so the first convoy has made it to the warehouse with our wood, and now we'll keep doing it until we get all 30 wood. We need 15 for the mission, for the sawmill itself, and we'll have to go and deliver them once they're in storage. So this itself is a bit muddy, but the vehicle that come out of here to do the convoy itself made it out of there absolutely fine. So although this is not the best terrain, we haven't put a road here because the convoy made it absolutely fine. We may need to lay one in the future depending how it goes. Right, where are we going first to do this? So we need to get to, we just need to get to there for that to activate. This we need to actually go and clear. So if we come over here, try to see the way in to be fair. Okay, so we need to go underneath there, don't we? So yeah, we come across the little bridge, and then to the right, I look for things, and then we've got an area to clear there, and this will unlock the steel pipe facility. Is it steel pipes or steel beams? It's one of them. Steel pipes. I knew it was one. Nice little tractor that's been left there. That could be recycled when we need to. There's actually quite a bit of scrap metal around, and we can use it when we need to recycle and make pipes. But the first bit we need to clear is over here. Whoa, okay. The only issue we're going to have, I may have to reverse in, I think, because obviously we can't get through there and the crane's going to hit the pipes above. So I think we'll reverse in and make that a little bit easier. You can see some pipes have been replaced there. Are they replaced or are they broken? I think they're replacements. Okay. Not too sure where we're putting stuff for the minute from here. To be fair, I need to swing this round. I'm not going to get it through there, am I? There's more room the other side. I just made it round there. Still got to be careful of the angle, I think. So I think we need to focus on things that are stopping us from going any further back. So, what do we want to do first? The scrap. I think this container probably is the first thing. Obviously, we are going to catch on the pipes above us if we're not careful here. I don't know where I'm putting this, to be fair. I kind of need to drive once it's on us. I might actually reverse with it. Might be an idea. As soon as it's off the ground, maybe we drive back and through that gap. Because I don't really know where we're going to put it for the minute. Yeah, I think that's our only real option. Let's take anchors off. Whoa, you see the weight of it? It's pretty heavy. But I just need to get further in here. So we can actually figure out where we're putting it. We're stuck on everything. No. Okay, we're in a bit of trouble. Don't do it, don't do it. There we go. I need to get anchors back. Please tell me that anchor's not stuck. I may have messed up. Yeah, I think I've messed up. The anchor's stuck. I've got the anchors out because I thought that would help us not be pulled over. Because moving it wasn't a good idea. We have carried them before and it's not been a problem, to be honest. I don't think the anchor's going to come out, is it? Yeah, I'm not getting that anchor out, am I? It's just stuck in that gap and we just can't go anywhere. Let's just quickly reset crane. Can't even reset crane. Base obstructed. Yeah. Oh, there we go. Hang on. What if I can use the crane to just get slightly up a bit more to actually get that anchor out? What I might do, I need it to kind of flip us a little bit. Yeah, it's still catching. I think let's reattach back to the container and see if we can tip ourselves a little bit left. But yeah, this hasn't quite gone to plan. It is tipping us, but not as much as I want. It's either that or we have to reset and drive back here again. So I'm trying to avoid if we can. We're not tipping anywhere near as much as we were. I'm trying on purpose to tip us over. And it's not doing it. Sod's law, the one time I actually want to tip, it won't do it. Hang on. We are now. I think we're on our side. Yeah, we are. Right, if we anchors. I think we've saved ourselves. Wow, that was close. That was nearly, nearly bad. You and the wife catching with a stranger just gone listening elsewhere, you had no music playing anything, it's a bit strange. Yeah, that was a weird one. It's a known issue from what I've seen. Yeah, that was a weird one. Really changed the atmosphere, didn't it, of the game? You were right with hooking up the container again, Crazy Irishman, though. Did help. Yeah, that was unexpected. We've actually put the container down in the perfect place to leave it as well, to be honest. Right, we've got a few things still to clear here, but now we should be better. Obviously, little bits of metal. We just want to get everything in that area there, I think. In all honesty, we can get everything in that small area over there. It's out of the way. We can always re-pick stuff up when we need to do metal for the metal for the. I'm losing my words today. Metal for the pipes. Let's put it that way. I know what I'm trying to say. Did we change the attach method? No. Right, we're only picking the singles up, so I wonder what was going on there. Yeah, we only just need to get stuff out of this area, so over here is absolutely fine. It's out of our way. Like I say, we can pick stuff up with the crane if we want to recycle it anyway. When we get to that point, to make more steel pipes. Nice little tractor there. We're picking up the big container as well. I think we might be, to be fair. Yeah, the big no, the big container doesn't need picking up, I don't think. Looking at that. Yeah, big container is staying there, so we don't have to worry about that. But a lot of this metal here will end up being recycled, as it's just here anyway. It makes sense to use it when we need to. And there's a tyre to move towards the end there, so we'll have to reverse up in a minute. Right, old pipe. Something else we'll end up recycling. Bring this across. Don't do that. Rolled into the area. They won't count as being out of the area. Trying to settle that there, really. Does that count as being out? I think that does still count because it's past that gate bit there. So it isn't telling us we need to pick it back up again. There's no little arrow on it, so we're good. Or triangle, I should say. So that is out of the area. Right, what have we got? A bit of metal there, and there's a tyre as well. I don't know if we have to move the thing that's underneath the tyre or not. The tyres can be sold when you open up the building that sells stuff that I can't remember the name of. Still don't think we've sold a single item during this whole playthrough, because it's on the final map. Mainly because there's never really a need to. Money we've always had from the jobs and stuff, so never really need to actually sell anything. Right, there is one more thing to grab. I don't know if we can grab it from here. Let's see if it will let us. It's connecting to a metal outside, so maybe. Yeah, there we go. Like I say, this can be sold, so I don't really want it with the metal, but we should really sell something at some point, just to say we've done it at least once. Let's check on this container over here if we can. There we go. That is that bit cleared, so let's refold the crane, anchors, and we are now heading to this bit over here to clear. It's the next point of call, so I think we go via there. The Carillion is just here. We do need to get that into this area as part of the mission as well. I'm not too sure we get there, to be fair. Oh, there's a road that way, actually. Where does that... Say there's a little bridge there. That doesn't actually get there, does it? I don't think... Or does that lead that way? But down here, there's a ramp going up there. And then I think we have to head... Do we have to head up? There is something to knock over there. Why would you knock that down? That would connect to here. Maybe. I don't know. I think we're going to have to figure that bit out. Because we have to get to this area here. And it looks like we have to go via that house by the looks of things. Right, we'll deal with that in a minute. We'll deal with this first, the crane bit first. And then we'll go in and see how we get into that area. So that's one bit done at least. Change the camera back to the actual driving camera. That's a tight gap, isn't it? Take advantage of damage not being on. Right, we're heading... Oh, straight ahead, there's gates. Oh, we might need the Carolean to actually open the gates, to be fair. Let's go and open them with this. We could set the crane up and use the crane to pull the gates open, but it's a lot easier to do it with this, to be fair. Oh, actually, the gates may be going inwards rather than out. Yeah, they're going in, I think. Yeah, there we go. So we didn't need the Carolean to do it. We could have done it ourselves. Right, shut up there. Back to crane. Oh, I think we're going to need a bridge here, aren't we? Coming out the back of this place. That's going to be an interesting thing to do. Because there is a road there, but there is a lot of water in between. How come we've only got 2 logs? Oh, I didn't actually notice it failed. When did that fail? I didn't notice it pop up. It's the turning point it failed on. I wonder if the logs haven't been going up. We've still only got 2. I didn't realise that actually failed. It should pop up, but I didn't see it. Right, what are we clearing here is the question. Not too much, to be fair. So where do we put it all is the question. So, can we get out the back of here, and do we need to? Is the first thing. I don't think we can get through that fence line. Although that looks see-through. There is concrete there, so I think we can put things down this side here, out the way. Starting with the first container. Oh, actually, we're moving all containers looking at this. Right, start with the red one here first and foremost. There's old tracks there to move as well. Again, they can be recycled into steel pipes when we get to that. Swing this around here and we're sticking to the side next to the fence line. In fact, if we bring this across a bit, we can line up a couple of them down there, can't we? Not quite what I wanted to happen. There we go. Stay there. Right, the old tracks we're going to need to move before we move the container. I don't know, will they stay on? Expect them to fall off. No, they stayed on. Okay, that's fine, they can stay on, it's not an issue. I was just going to put this on top of this one. Failed again, didn't it? Why did that fail? It's not liking the turning point. Right, we're going to have to deal with this. I'm not too sure how we deal with this at the minute. I don't really want to send it down there to turn. It needs to make this turn. And obviously it can't turn too tight. What we did see was it was gaining a lot of speed, wasn't it? So I wonder if we move these points back a bit. Try and keep the turn a little bit here. The big thing it's got to get back on the tarmac, which is obviously the issue it's having, I think. Got too tight a turn, isn't it? That's the thing, it doesn't like tight turns. And that is a little bit too tight. And obviously there's another route there, which obviously doesn't help. I still say it's too tight. I don't want to bring it out too much. We saw that it was having issues with speed on that turn point. Still a tight turn. What doesn't constitute a tight turn? That. I wonder if we put it there to come back on gradually, maybe. Still saying this doesn't like that one. There we go. Right, we'll set it back off and see what happens. I'm hoping that's okay. Otherwise, we have to tarmac a section here to allow for that turning. It's just the way that bit is, unfortunately. If we have to go and do more tarmac there just to make it so it can turn, well, we haven't really got a choice. We need that wood, that's the problem. Until that wood's received, we can't complete the other mission for the wood place, sawmill. My words are really bad today. Alright, this doesn't have to be perfect, to be fair, it just needs to be on there. I think sometimes I try and get things too perfect with some of these bits, but we just got to chuck them out. Thanks for liking, that was much appreciated. Right, still got the blue containers here to quickly grab. Why is it not grabbing anything? Might be too high. There we go. The 2 blue containers and then a car and some scrap metal by the looks of things. Similar to the other one, I think we can stick this over here. There we go. One more of those to do. I'm definitely too high, I think. Give me the other one. Come on. There we go. Right, we'll chuck this over there as well. And then it's just a car and the scrap metal, I think. And then we're going to try and find our way into that space with the Carolean. And then we'll see what's next, because that'll be this mission complete. Still trying to wait and see if it fails again for turning. Or we fix the problem is the question. Come on. The annoying thing is the original convoy to complete the mission, well, they're absolutely fine. It's subsequent ones that we actually need to complete another mission that now we're struggling to obtain. But the first one wasn't a problem. Right, let's check this over here as well. I think I'm still too high really. But right, this can go just where do we want this? Over here, because then we can put the car over there. There we go. So just the car now to grab. And then I think that is everything. Come on, spin round. Should be able to grab it from here, I think. It was allowing us to before, so yeah, there we go. It's got a catch, isn't it? Come on, over this way. Again, oh, we did complete it, there we go. Infrastructure route complete. 2 more wood added to our log pile. So now that it seems to have turned in better there, doesn't mean it won't fail again, but it's definitely better than it was. Right, we're going to chuck this car probably on that ramp there, to be fair. And then this should be complete. Come on, this way. It looked quite what I wanted to do, but there we go. It's actually said it's complete and clear. I just don't like leaving something messed up. Turn this car over. Come on, this way. Did I just smash the window screen, or was it already smashed? Ah, nearly on its wheels. I don't need to do this, but I don't like leaving things not quite right. There we go. Right, crane. Why can we want to restore? Oh, we're still connected, that'd be why. Right, crane is finished for the time being. We want to move to the Carolean, just out here. And we need to find a way into this space. Now, I do think we have to go back on ourselves. Come out of here and head potentially this way. I'm trying to see. I think we have to come up this ramp here. And it's so we've got to kind of navigate in here, I think. I don't know if that. I'm assuming, actually, we knock that down. And that creates a land bridge there to allow us then to go up here. I think we'll need to pull the car out first. But I think that's what we need to do, is make that bridge. So let's drive over there and see what we can do. We want to be going left, don't we? Yeah, I think we have to pull the car out. Not left, actually. We want to be going that way. If we pull the car out the gap, then we've got to go through the building, knock that bit down, create a bridge. By the looks of things. Say that, there's gates there. Ah, there is gates, but look, they're blocked off by all these pipes. Yeah, look, the pipes are blocking the gate there, so there's no way of using that gate by the looks of things. Okay, so I think left here, and we should see the car in the hole, I think. Is this the right way? No, that's the steel pipes facility. It's not the right way at all. That's where the steel pipe facility is. I think it's across the little bridge first, isn't it? And then left. Yeah, across the bridge, then left. And that's where the car will pull out is. I'm not too sure how the bridge will go down if the car's still in there, but I think it's worth quickly pulling it out. Again, when we need to recycle metal, that would be an ideal one for that. Not close enough, are we? Where did that connect to? Not where I wanted it to, I don't think. Let's go back of the bumper. Oh, okay. That's more stuck than I thought it was. If we go... The handbrake on first. Yeah, that's not moving. May need to bring the crane round then. Unless we can dislodge it. That's not coming up here, is it? Can we connect to the top of it, maybe? We're too close to the top, aren't we? Just thinking if we get the top connected instead, might be a better connection. So I don't want the back bumper, that's all it's kind of offering up. All the X's mean you can't connect there because your visibility isn't enough. I don't think this one has towing as an option. It doesn't, does it? Because that would be better, I think. Yeah, we don't have towing as an option. Turn this around. I'll try doing it from the back. Maybe a bit more pull power that way. But I think maybe a crane is needed here. Don't think that's going to come out. No. And yeah, they'll be definitely knocking that down to create a bridge. So this definitely has to come out. We can't connect to it any other way. I think rather than waste time, we'll bring the crane round and do it that way. Just save us so much time. We're going to go around anyway with this, don't we? So let's chuck this over here. The crane is folded away, so we'll just drive that round, grab the truck, move it out of the way, and then we will go and make that bridge. Let's go out the gate. Thanks for the like, but much appreciated. Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad if we can just move the vehicle out of the way. And if we need to readjust where that bridge lands, at least the crane's there to do so. Because it may not land the way it needs to be. And I'm pretty sure the crane will be able to move it. Maybe be able to put it down with the crane automatically rather than have to drive all the way through. Actually thinking about it. I wonder if we can do that. We'll have to see. If we can put it down with the crane from like the middle point, that would be ideal to place it down and save us driving all the way around. We'll see if that works. It may not allow us to connect though, that's the only downside. While it's in its position, it may have to be knocked with a vehicle. But first and foremost, let's deal with this car situation. To be fair, it can go in there, can't it? There's kind of a space there. It does let us grab it. Okay, we don't need to drive all the way around. We'll do the car first, obviously, but we don't need to drive all the way around them. Come on. I suppose the only thing we're going to have to make sure is we actually get it where we want it to be there, otherwise there won't be a bridge. Right, we've got to move this way, just out of the way. That should be fine. Okay. We've got to make sure we're not in its way when it lands. That's the only other thing. But yeah, it will allow us to grab it. This will either go really well or really badly. I'm not too sure. Might not even be close enough actually. I might have to drive forward. I've not put anchors on yet. There we go. Let's drive forward a little bit, I think. And I probably will anchor as well, just to be sure. There we go. Right, I'm not too sure how we're going to do this. I may regret doing this, and I may have wished we'd actually knocked it with the vehicle, but this will hopefully work. Let's connect. We've got it. There we go. So all we're going to do now is position it the way we want to. I'm at full stretch there though, that's the only downside. I need to be forward. Anchors, as long as it doesn't lift us up, the anchors are gone. We're okay. Just need to move forward a little bit. There we go. Anchors on again. Well, that saved us a lot of messing around with the scout vehicle. I'll bring it back a little bit. I don't know how even this will be, but there we go. Bridge is done. That saved us a massive amount of time, because otherwise we would have had to go through the building, up different ramps, just to knock it forwards. That has worked out massively in our favour there. Right, swap to the Kernel, and we can get this mission complete as well then. We're still waiting on more wood for the other mission. So we can't complete that, but this will be a main mission complete, and then we'll see what's next. And this will also make the steel pipe facility up and running. Okay. Obviously, there's a bit of a bump to get over this by looks of things, but it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Right, there you go. Here we are. And that should be mission complete. And we should now hear from Kelly. That's the first stage of this map complete. Watch out, it's done.
Good job sorting out the lumber situation. Of course, logs from afar won't do the local economy any favors in the long run, but we can put this place together now. Which reminds me, we need more than just lumber for that. The map shows a machine yard not far from your position, and it could help us get the rest of what we need. Could you kindly go and check if it's still there? Same goes for the village nearby while you're at it.
Okay, so there's a village to go and check on as well. Is that route still is still going? That route, it's just taking its time. So we've only got 4 logs, so we have to wait to do that mission. So that side mission there, bring logs, so someone has to wait until we've got 15, and it's bringing 2 at a time. It's just taking a while. We've got to drive to the machine yard. Well, it's a long way away. Where's that on the map? Where we are? We're currently here, and we've got to drive to the machine yard there. And the other mission is Northlock village. That's not. Oh wow, okay, that's a completely different direction. Right, I think our base of operations is central distribution. Hang on, let's work this out. We're here, and we've got 1 point of access. We've got to get to there for the village, which to do that from where we are, we need to go. There's a bridge there that's going to need doing. What's that? Oh, it's a crane. We will need to make a bridge here, which will have to be wood because it's the only bridge we're allowed to make, which means using more wood that's laying around or in storage. But yeah, there have to be a bridge there by the looks of things. And then, yeah, find out how we get there from there, the village. The machine yard is the opposite direction. And potentially, I think we have to go. Which way do we go from here? Maybe this way. So through the sawmill. That way, I think. Looking at that, does seem to be that way, doesn't it? I think we'll go to the machine yard first. It is on the list first. So we'll grab a different scout vehicle as we can grab them from here. And I think our best bet is to head through the sawmill and down into this bit here, and I think that road will continue through that water. So let's grab a different scout vehicle and head to the sawmill first and foremost. Where is the actual route still going? It is still running, it says. I can't see a vehicle though, that's the only annoying thing. It is running, but I can't see a vehicle. Normally you'll see a vehicle travelling on the route, but I can't see anything. Concerning me a little bit because we're not going up in the amount of wood we're gaining. I don't quite understand why. No, it hasn't failed either. There's just no vehicle. It's weird. If I cancel route, I think I've got to replan the whole thing, don't I? It does say operational, I just can't see a vehicle, which is unusual. There's definitely not one there, is there, anywhere? Not there, it's not there. I did think the wood's not going up at all. I did think that was a bit odd. Yeah, there's no vehicle travelling on that route. Gates aren't open, so it's not just gone in there. But I think that needs cancelling then and redoing. Okay, dispatch vehicles. There we go. Vehicles off and running again. For some reason it seemed to just not work for a second there. But we can crack on with what we're going to do. So, scout vehicle is what we need. If we go to the shop quickly, scout vehicles, we've got a different version of a scout we already own there. That's a kit version. We're saving that until we do DLC. It's not DLC necessarily, but I think we'll save it for DLC. Scout with trailer we don't own. We own all the other scouts. I think DLC we've got to wait for that one until we start DLC, and that's the one we just looked at. So yeah, we do own every scout bar the scout with trailer. So we don't need to buy a new scout. So we want to use, I don't know, which one? Let's use the 3232. We're obviously going through water. 3431. It's lighter weight. Let's use the Malamute. It's generally really good in the water, as we've seen before. So let's use that. So we're heading to the sawmill first and foremost. And then from the sawmill, through the water, and hopefully we'll then be able to find where this machine yard is. But yeah, I thought that we're going through water, we might as well utilise the big tyres on this to get through that water. We don't know how deep it's going to be, how far we're going to go in it. So make the most of it while we can. Okay, that's the vehicle turning, isn't it? Reverse and you'll make the turn. Keep going. Keep going. See? Nice and easy. Another 2 logs on the way. Right, let's see if we can find this machine yard. Obviously, we haven't been any further past the sawmill, so we don't know what's there. Don't know what the condition of the roads is like. Let me just check objectives again. Have we actually completed... Yeah, we have completed the first part. Wow. That first part was really quick then. Normally, there's a lot more missions involved, but that seemed to go really quick. Okay, so through here, and we saw on the map, we're then going to hit water. There we go. I'm hoping we don't need to build a road here. Now, although we can check terrain scanner, it doesn't include water in it. Oh, it does. It's showing some of it. A lot of the time, it doesn't show you the water level. This isn't too bad. Where's the way out? Let's have a quick look. So there's a road going up this way there by the looks of things, and I think we can then go through that yard there. The water does continue on, but I think the way out is just here. There is a road going to the right as well. I think we want to follow the road to the right, to be honest. I don't think we want to go through the yard. We'll do... No, actually we don't. Look where that's going. Right round there. The yard kind of stops. We can traverse whatever that bit is there. I think we want to follow the road. The more we follow the roads, the better, I think, to start with. Because there will generally be a road leading to it somewhere. Just may need to find it. More water here, though. See, the conditions are not fun. We have to put another convoy through here. We're going to need a road. So I think this leads to over there. We can just see a road there. There's the machine yard in the distance, and I'm hoping this road swings round. That's the hope, anyway. Or this is going to take us somewhere else, I think. It's not swinging round, is it? So that's taking us to whatever this is here. We don't know what this is. What is it? Hasn't got a name. There may be potentially then a base operations future down the line, potentially. It's not telling us what. There's no name for it as such. Normally, if it's a proper place, it'd be a name. So maybe a base later on for us, potentially. There's definitely building materials and stuff there, so potentially. What is that yellow vehicle there? Really bright yellow. It's a building. Okay, it's a building. It was just really bright. Okay, so that doesn't lead to where we want to go. Obviously, I can go cross country. So if we can utilise the roads, it just helps things connect. So does the water have a second way out that we pass through here? I don't think it does it? There's no. I think we have to go cross country or through the water. The only other way would have been through here, maybe. There's no real connection point. Let's try traversing over here and see how we go. Yeah, we're trying to find a road, really. And there comes the rain again. The road will connect probably somewhere. It's just finding that connection point. And we don't know if we need a bridge or we need to build a road, essentially, for all the water. But the conditions are pretty severe. The penultimate map, as I said before, was really simple. Sojourn was really easy. Final map of the base game, not so much. Kind of lured us into a false sense of security, didn't it, really? Right, we're heading for over there. Let's see if we can just straight shot it and see what we open up. Because it doesn't seem like roads lead there at the minute. I'm really hoping we don't need to put a road all the way through this. Because that will be a nightmare. Okay. I'm not seeing any real way up, so we'll just head straight forwards. I do love the Malamute. The Malamute does make short work of a lot of this. Oh, that's a port then, isn't it? Machine yard's there. There's a port, I think, as well, looking at that. Right, we're not crossing that water there at all. Ah, we can go round here.
Gosh, the ground looks like an overripe melon that someone dropped. I'm sure it won't be a problem for you, so I won't bother you with any advice. Especially since I'm drawing a blank now anyway.
Yeah, lots of damaged ships and things. This obviously was a port, I think, at some point. Right, can we actually get through there? That's blocked off. Yellow tyres there to be sold. Right, we've got obviously got to get to there. We're currently here. That's completely blocked off. There is a crane here. That's not going to help us get there, I don't think. We need to obviously get up here, don't we? I think we can head round looking at that. I don't know if we actually get up that bit, actually. Thinking about it. We want to get up here then, don't we? Which does come round. There's a harbour base there as well. So actually we can use the road here, I think. The road all joins. Looking for like a little shortcut, but we just need to follow the road, to be honest. There's another base of operations here as well. Could be helpful. The harbour base is... where do we see it? Just here to our left. Sometimes you just need to get near to it and then the mission will pop up to do it. Or it's a main mission later on, so it won't pop up now. Yeah, I think it's a main mission by the looks of things. But nothing's turned up straight away for it, so I think it'll be a main mission later. Maybe after we get here, to be fair. Here's the machine yard. We have made it there. So we can purchase and sell resources here. This is something we've never really utilised in any of the maps so far.
Good grief. This place has seen better days. Now we've got to make sure it doesn't get any worse. Fixing that flood wall along the shoreline should do for now. So, will you kindly do the honors?
There we go. Yeah, we've not really sold anything before. We've never really needed to. We've got plenty of money in the bank, so we should never say utilised. But we can also purchase resources. There is a lack of woods, obviously, in this area, so maybe we may have to purchase that at some point. But we won't obviously do it yet, because we don't need to. So, that is now active though and open. We've got bits to pick up here by the looks of things. Let's have a look at what this entails. Deliver objects. So they're flood wall pieces. They're big flat pieces, aren't they? And they need delivering to the flood walls. So again, with cranes here, we can utilise. There's one for the two pieces there. Is there a crane like these ones? There's a crane there as well. And yeah, there's a big crane over here that we can use to actually place them, it would seem. Although, saying that, they've got grabber arms, so they're not the best for placing. The harbour base we haven't activated yet, and I don't know what we need to do to activate it, because it would be handy to activate it and then we just get a crane from there, but currently doesn't seem that's an option. There's a backup transformer there that's lacking power, so that probably needs something delivered at some point. Main power substation has no power either, so that potentially needs something to it. Sand quarry there, but we need tokens, and once again we haven't had a mission yet to give us tokens. I've just seen your comment, sorry Craig Irishman, delayed to seeing that. Yeah, there's no guarantee it would have landed. We've got the hot springs geothermal station there. So, we're going to need a crane here. By the looks of things, we're going to have to move all those as well to even get to there, I think. Looking at that. Yeah, there's no real easy route. I think we're going to need to move all these, which will involve a big crane. But traversing that water is not going to be simple, I don't think. There is points here that need bridges putting back in. That leads over here. That road stops there, doesn't it? There is another bit here for another potential bridge. And then from here, bridge to there, maybe? Which would join us to the steel pipes facility. I think maybe we need to do that. Let's build a bridge over here, it would seem. There to there. I don't think a road would be enough. Although it doesn't look very deep. Maybe a road is better than a bridge there, to be fair. And then through the trees, and then probably bridge here. That looks a lot shallower, so maybe we don't need laying sand and a road, may be fine. Bridge there though, and then we can get a crane there. It would seem. There's no easier way of doing that, I don't think. Because I think to bring it across where the Malamute come would be tricky. Is my only thinking. Another crane there as well. Yeah. The big this place must have power, I think, for the cranes to work. Although saying that, we can't enter that crane, can we? It's objective. Can we? It doesn't allow us to enter that crane, so that means this hasn't got power. So even though the cranes are here, can we enter them? We can enter these ones. But you can see we need to put panels there and there's stuff needs moving. Actually doesn't work. Oh, it does work, there you go. But yeah, there's stuff in there that's going to need taking out as well. So there's going to be quite a bit of work crane-wise there, I think. Looking at that. I can't just pull a crane here annoyingly either, because that would be handy. Machine yard, obviously, we sell things there. No, we sell things up here. But even get to here, we've got to get those out of there. Which, the only way in seems to be there. Which is blocked as well. And I can't access the big crane, it seems. If we go to vehicles, sometimes the cranes can't... No, so that big crane in the middle there we can't use. Doesn't show up as an optional crane, neither is this one. It may be later on once power's added, but currently they're not usable. So we are going to have to drive a vehicle there. So I think for the minute, we go to the village next, as that was the mission that was on before that one. So we've got to get to Northlock village, which is over here. Now, for where we are and what we've unlocked, the Caroline is currently over here. I'm just trying to see where we can get to. There is a crane there. There's roads here that need bridges, which I think we may have to do first. I think. Again, that needs a bridge there. And we have got some wood in storage. Is that route still going? It should be. There's no vehicle again. Why is that? Okay, something's going wrong there. That route seems to be bugging out because it's not telling us it's failed. There's no vehicle running on it either. So we'll set it again. See, the vehicle's coming out now. We're going to have to keep an eye on that because we need to keep activating it. For some reason, it doesn't seem to like it. I think we need a bridge though, which means we need wood. That's the only bridge we can build. And that road could take us, I think will take us where we need to go. So, I think we need to go and pick wood up. Unless there is loose wood around though, isn't there? Thinking about it. Is there any in here? We activate that resources. There is loose wood in places that we can utilise. Our log grabber's here. If there's any loose wood here, we'll need 2 or 3, I think. Any wood. Lots of metal. There's no wood laying around. Okay. It was a long shot. This isn't really the place to find wood, to be fair. I thought it'd be worth a little look. Any loose wood over here? No. Okay. So we've got to pick it up for our base operations then. I may actually use the mule or the Vorod rather than actual wood carrier, I think. But yeah, we need to build a bridge here, I think. I think we don't have a choice. So we'll do the bridge. There we go. 2 logs is all we need. It comes out of what we need for the mission, but we can do that. So, if we now go to our base up here, hopefully we get something to get. Once we fix the fencing around there, we might get a base there. But we'll have to wait till that happens. So for this, we need something with a crane that's going to also carry things. And for that, we want either the Voron or the Malamute. Voron or the mule. We only need to take 2 logs. It's not much. That's why there's no point driving the log forward all the way back here for some logs to come all the way back to where it already is. So I missed the mule, didn't I? There. Where's the vehicles I'm after? There we go. There's the Voron. We'll grab that as it's the one first. We can put logs in the back of this. It's just a different way of doing it. Storage. We want 2 logs. There we go. We'll quickly anchors crane. Put these in the back. It's a lot easier to move logs with a crane like this than it is to be with the actual log forward, to be fair. But then if you're picking trees up, sometimes the log forwarder can be better. They're too long for obviously this, but it won't matter massively. Because they'll strap down anyway, to be fair. I do like the fact the logs are different. You can tell they've been cut from different sized trees. They're not all uniform. Just another detail the game has that you don't always see in other games. Infrastructure route completes. Another 2 trees have just been delivered. Or 2 logs, I should say. Kind of want this to go past the other one. I don't think I'm going to be able to push it over. Come on. Not in the ideal position, is it? There we go, it's sorted itself out. Trap cargo. Before we head off, let's just see if there's another vehicle using that route again, because I've got a feeling every time it actually delivers, it stops. So that's the route it's meant to be running. There's no vehicle again. It's literally just finished. The vehicle wouldn't be that far through the route, but it seems every time it actually finishes one load, it fails the next. It just doesn't send another vehicle. So we need to cancel route and then reset vehicle, and then we'll come back out. So that's something we have to keep doing, otherwise we just won't get anything from it. Right, back to ours. We need to now drive. Let that pass first. We're heading to where the crane thing is, to go past there and through to where the bridge we just set up is. We'll deliver these 2 logs and that'll be bridge complete then. And then what we'll probably do is keep driving the Voron to the village rather than go back and get the Carolean. Generally, the Voron and vehicles like this, the mule, are generally quite good at traversing, so it shouldn't affect us too much. Annoyingly, we've got to follow the log vehicle until it turns off in a little bit. Although we might be able to make the turn better than it can, to be fair. Yeah, I'm not too sure why that route keeps bugging out and not actually continuing. Because they should just keep sending vehicles until all the rewards are done, at the very minimum. It doesn't seem to want to do that. I don't know if it's because of this turn here, maybe. But then it would at least start the route, or you would have thought. Right, we should be able to make an easier turn here. We can get ahead of it. So it's not failing, so I don't quite know what's going on with it, to be fair. Right, let's get this round. So we've got a bit of a journey on our hands. No, don't do that, I've gone too far to the side. Don't look at chat when you're trying to drive straight. It doesn't quite work. Yeah, this has got a little bit of a journey to get to. The biggest issue we're going to have is getting a crane to where them sheets are to actually put down for the barrier. That's going to be a long journey. I was hoping the base would set up there beforehand, because that'll make our life easy. We can't even send a mobile base there because we haven't got any tokens. There hasn't been a mission yet come up where we can actually achieve and get these tokens. So we can't even use the mobile bases currently. And the token, we don't use tokens a lot on any other maps, but they don't change maps. The tokens you earn on that map stay on that map. So we can't even bring in some from elsewhere. So that's going to be interesting. I thought by going by the base, was sometimes you get a mission show up. You do that mission, you then unlock the base. But I'm guessing that base there is subject to us putting the panels up to protect it from the water before that will unlock, by the sounds of things. Okay, we've made it over the bridge. So just have a quick look where we're heading. So we're heading past the sandpit and... No, that's not the way we're going, is it? Where are we going? North. Don't go past the sandpit, over the bridge, through here, and then out the other side. The Vaughan and the Mule do quite well in all conditions, so things like this won't affect it too much. Slow us down, but it will generally manage to get through. Okay, that route is complete. Another 2 logs have been delivered. We are going to have to keep checking this, which is frustrating. Yeah, no new vehicle coming out. So cancel route. Dispatch vehicle. Thing is, we need them logs. We need them for making bridges. We need them for doing the side mission at the sawmill. We need 15 there. So it's not like we don't need the logs. We do. So we can't just leave it. We do need them logs delivered. Okay, so from here we need to head to the right. And then I think we're out this left-hand corner. Yeah, we're out over there. It's a fairly simple route so far. But we'll see what the village brings us once we're there, that's the thing. This road has definitely seen better days. And now it's not a road anymore, is it? It's mud. We're going the right way, aren't we? I'm doubting myself. No, we are. It's fine. I didn't remember this being as far to the bridge point, but it is. The blue cranes, because of the way they pick things up, they're not really that good unless you're picking up scrap metal and things like that. Only time I really use them. And even then, if we've got a crane ourselves nearby, we ignore the blue crane and just do it ourselves. Right, let's unstrap these and then drop these off for this bridge. Bridge complete. So now we can cross the bridge and see if we can get to this village. We haven't got a proper road the other side, which is handy. Okay, I think that's the village to our right there. And we have got a right hand turn here. Ah, what's this? It wants us to build a road. Not to the, well, to the village to a degree as well. Okay, so there is a road mission to do there. That would be an infrastructure mission, I would guess. Yeah, it's going to come as infrastructure, isn't it? Yeah, build a road. That's a little bit easier to do because you can actually get the sand up automatically. AI can do that. The only downside to that is where's the nearest quarry? Because obviously without a quarry we can't actually do that. So there is a quarry somewhere here to activate. Again, if we need tokens, we can't do it yet because we haven't got any and there's no mission to gain any currently. But let's see how bad the road is because we're going to go that way anyway. That leads to the village. Yeah, so that's the reason, because there's water here then. It's not, the road itself, the way it wants to build it, isn't too bad. It's good. Obviously, convoys and stuff won't make it through, but most of our vehicles should. Northlock village, nice sign there. And the thing is, it can't make it too difficult to traverse because you've got to build a road there. So the road vehicles like the dumper truck has to be able to actually go through here. So it's not a priority as such. And until we can unlock the quarry, we can't do it anyway. So that is something we'll do in due course then. On a big road. The logs have been delivered again. Once again, we need to quickly head back there and just double check. Yeah, no vehicle leaving, so let's cancel and go again. It is annoying, but we haven't got a choice. Right, where are we heading here? We can go straight or left. Either way, we may get to our destination. The village has definitely seen better days, I'll say that. It's not in a good state of repairs, is it? There's a debris here as well. I just need to get past it. There we go. Don't think it was meant to come down that way. Right, the actual location we're reaching is just here on the left. Well, by the shop by the looks of things. It's handy, go and get something to eat. Okay, that is the village found. Ah, it's a vehicle appeared.
Seems I'm overdue on commending you for your efforts. After all, you've been doing such a good job up to this point that you got noticed by the Northlock Village Council. Doesn't that make you happy? I know it does. And right after they noticed you, they asked if you could help solve their problems. Ain't fame grand? For now, it's nothing too hard. Just check the nearby radio tower for damage. Seems like something's wrong with it. Yes, I know you knew it was going to happen. And no, they are definitely not flooding my desk with more requests as we speak.
I think we'll just gain a few missions.
Before, right?
Okay, let's have a look. So a few new missions have now appeared, I'm sure. So we've got, that's one we already know about. Transport the vehicle, that's the one that's just appeared in front of us. To the Archeologist camp, where's that? Wow. All the way over there. So that's a scout vehicle, so that can traverse quite tough terrain. So that shouldn't be too bad. Obviously we haven't been that way. There is a road going to the warehouse there. That's not the same warehouse we've already used, that's a different one. Southern tunnels there as well. And it looks like we'll have to traverse over here to get down there by the looks of things. But it's a scout vehicle, it should be okay. So that's not too bad. It's just a little way away. Clear the way to the radio tower. Let's have a look at that. Radio tower's here, so we need to get a crane or something with a crane to clear there. We could potentially use the Voron, as it's already here. Countryside base is there. We don't know how to activate that yet. We'll have to drive in there and see if it gives us something to activate it. It will tell us. So that delivering that doesn't give us anything other than money and XP. That only gives us money and XP again. But yeah, we've got to clear that area. That's going to need a bridge as well at some point. And then what's this? Bring the backup generator to Northlock Village. So that's the delivery point. And this will give... Okay, so if we deliver the generator, we get the countryside base restored, which is the base where the thing is over there. So the logistics terminal next to our Carolean is... at the end point? That's the pickup point, isn't it? Yeah, we need to pick the generator up and deliver it where we are now. Deliver it to there. Generators are quite big. I'm thinking, do we just send the mule there? Because if we gain the base here, then it's easy enough to get a crane out straight away. Get that cleared as well. So that actually makes that really simple. But it's the generator we need first and foremost for there. We'll also need to unlock the doors, I think. Looking at that. Bring the backup jump from the logistics, yeah. So we could potentially just send the... We've got to try... What do we send? I don't know if we need a bigger vehicle. Let's quickly jump in the Carolean and see how big the generator is.
Hey!
Hang on.
I get distracted by the manager for what seems like an eternity, and you're already halfway across the map. It's so great to have someone I can rely on to do the job when I'm not even watching. Have I told you how much I hate micromanagement? Well, I do. No wonder we make such a great team.
Got to learn other comments. So if we look across, we can see the backup generators in there. It's quite big, but I think it will fit in the back of the mule. So I think if we get the village up and running first, that then makes our life a little bit easier in clearing the radio tower and things as well. I still think we're going to need to build a bridge though, aren't we? Once that's clear, yeah, we're gonna. But again, we're gonna have a base to use here. So that will make our life a little bit easier. So let's do the generator first. So I think what we do is we grab the mule rather than drive the Voron all the way back. We grab the mule from our tunnel exit base and drive it to the logistics. Grab the generator and drive it there. The route itself is fairly simple, so it shouldn't have too many problems. The only issue is, or do we want something bigger to carry it? It is going to be quite wide. We do have the Voron there to unload. It will fit. I think it will fit in the back of the mule. To be fair, I just don't. It's going to be a tight fit, I think. Where we have got a longer vehicle to use, but it doesn't have a crane. We do have a crane currently at the logistics, and potentially the Voron can unload it. I think we take the bigger vehicle. I just don't want to get there, try and load it, and find we can't. That's the only thing. So I think we take the Alces C400 instead, as it's got a bigger cargo bed. Can actually carry more, I think. Let's double check that actually, while I think about it. Can it carry more? So the Alces C400 can carry 8-ton capacity. I think the Voron can carry more than the mule. I know that. How much can the mule carry? Obviously, if something's got a crane, it makes life easier. But there are times they don't. So we've got the Greenway Cross, that's 2.4 width. Cargo, wow, that carries 18-ton. Maybe we should be using that. Where's there it is. Voron can carry 5-ton, and the mule can carry 5-ton of 5-ton as well. Oh no, that's 6-ton for the mule. Voron is 8-ton. So actually, maybe we should be using the Greenway Cross, as it can carry a lot more weight, which means we won't have as many issues. That's, what did we say that was? That is 18-ton, and the one we just got out is, it's got a big bed on it as well. Where's the one we want? There. 8-ton. Yeah, I think we put the Alces back, in all honesty. I think we take the other one. We haven't used the one that much. We thought we brought it thinking we'd use it quite a lot, to be fair. I didn't realise how much more it could carry. The grade on the front isn't a big deal, unless there's rocks on the route, and then it'll clear those out the way too. But yeah, maybe we should utilise this a lot more than we have done. So let's deploy that. Again, we're going to need the crane that is already at the logistics. Where is our crane? Here. So we'll quickly drive the crane round now, so it's in position ready for when we get there. And then we'll load it up via the crane, and the Voron can unload back at the village as well. We've got about 25 minutes left of today's stream. Hopefully we can get the other base of the village set up and done. That bit of metal or concrete or whatever it is that's making that bridge there may need manoeuvring again pretty soon. I think it's going to keep moving every time we go on it. Yeah, I didn't realise that other vehicle can carry so much. That's something we need to keep an eye on then, because I think we can utilise that more. The annoying thing is it doesn't have a crane. If it had a crane, it'd be a lot more useful. But unfortunately it doesn't. But if we've got a crane nearby, we can load it. There we go. As I say, we've not driven this in ages. The grader sits high enough that he doesn't catch on anything. That's good for us. But if there's any rocks on the route, it can clear them as well. But it's the carrying capacity that I'm most impressed with. I've just had a thought. Has that completed its objective and hasn't run again, hasn't it? Just got to double check there's no vehicle running the log route. I don't think it is. No. I didn't actually spot the fact it's completed it. So we've got to reset that again. I don't know what is going on with this, but every time we've got to reset it. But I didn't see it complete, that's why I didn't do it before now. 12 are currently logs in there. There's another 12 to go, no, more than that actually, it's 30 in total. We've used 2. So, and we've got 12 already, it's 24. So it's used to 14, so we've got 16 more, and it's 2 per vehicle, so that means we've still got another 8 trucks to go, which means 8 times of us resetting that route. Which is a little bit annoying, but we haven't got a choice. 15 logs we need for the sawmill as soon as we've got them, and that's a mission we can get done. But we need a mission that can give us some tokens so we can activate some of these quarries that need activating, to be fair. That big road that needs building as well to the village. Setting up the village base will enable us to do that a lot easier. We won't have to take the vehicles as far to do that, which will make a big difference as well. We normally do the missions in the order they appear, to be fair, but setting up a base kind of takes priority because it makes everything else easier. So we're focusing on that, I think, first for this generator. Now I'm really hoping this can carry a lot of weight. I'm hoping it can traverse as well as the other vehicles can. Obviously with more weight it does make it harder to traverse in these places because you're going to sink further down into the mud and stuff. So we've got to watch out for that. The journey to the village isn't too bad, apart from where the road bit is. So we'll have to see how we go there. Worst comes to worst, no we can't. I'm going to say we could tow it, but we can't. Because the Voron's in the village, we haven't got a tow vehicle there. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Okay. Over the bridge and then we're at the logistics so we can load up this generator. See how it does with this mud here. That will give us an indication of how it will do, I think. Got big tyres on the front, so it should be okay. Yeah, it seems to handle that pretty well. I think that handled it better than the Voron did, to be honest. So it should be okay, but then with a load on the back, it may be slightly different. We shall see. Right, round here. It's got a good turning circle as well. I don't know why we've not... Well, I do know why. The lack of crane is why we've not utilised this vehicle more. But it's got a really good turning circle. It's also not as bouncy as the Voron and the Mule, to be fair. Although the Voron has a better stability than the Mule, it says. I don't think it's that obvious when you're actually driving both of them. Right, let's get this loaded up. At some point, if we've cleared all them pipes out of the way, we could utilise that gate there as well, to be fair. No worries, Crazy Irishman, thank you for joining us, very much appreciated. Yeah, I know you've had a long day. I hope you take care of yourself, Crazy Irishman. Make sure you put yourself first. And yeah, send me a message whenever you want to chat. Thank you, Crazy Irishman, much appreciated. Okay, swap to the crane. Has that just completed another route? I think it has. It's now got 14, so that's completed again, hasn't it? Yeah. No, has it completed again? There's nothing on the route, so it must have done. There we go. So for some reason I'm not noticing when it's completing, so I don't always remember to remove it. Right, let's grab this generator. Now that is a name and a half. How are you this morning, Ship Wrangler? That's a really good name. I like that. No, I don't. Can you tell by the uneven tarmac? It's definitely not something I do for a living. Although I do try and leave potholes every now and then to make it more realistic, to be fair. How are you this morning? Okay, let's get this dropped down. We do want to load this as best we can. We don't want it any kind of angle or anything, because we want the weight evenly distributed if we can. Forward there we go. It's in position. Don't botch it. You're saying flop sweat? What? What is flop sweat? Okay, that's now on the back. We can strap this down and we can head now to the village. We come back the way we come, and then it's take a right at the end and go across the other bridge. And we're going towards the village. Hard to bother the job they swept for you. Oh, okay, fair enough. I'd not heard that before. I've not heard it called that, but yeah. We should be okay. I don't see any real issues. Obviously this vehicle can carry quite a bit, so it should be absolutely fine. The only bit will be where they want to build a road for the village. That's the only bit that may be a bit tricky. But I don't foresee too many problems, to be fair. Worst comes to worst and we get stuck, we can take a scout vehicle there and tow us out, so it's not the end of the world. And then the biggest thing we'll be using our crane truck to unload, just because it's not as good a bigger crane as one we just used to load up, to be fair. So that'd be the only real issue, I think. But we should be able to be alright with that. We've done it before, it's not the first time we've carried one of these. As this is the final map of the base game, we've carried many of these before, and they're never normally that bad. I say that now, and this is where I go and crash or something, but we should be absolutely fine. So we're just going to follow this road round, and we'll go across the bridge we made, and then that will take us to where they want a road built. We follow that through and the village is there. It's a little bit of a distance, but it's not too bad. I think I drive better in this than we do in our SnowRunner series, in all fairness. I do think I drive a lot worse than that than I do on this. Okay, another 2 lots of wood logs have been completed. Again, for some reason that route isn't starting itself off again like it should. Over here, there's no car coming out, so we've got to quickly reset that again. It is annoying having to keep redoing it, but there's 14 logs remaining and we do need them. So we can't just ignore it. Is this building one of those Bitcoin? No. It's not. So we're taking, this is a generator and we're taking it to the village. There's no Bitcoin generators, no. Not that kind of buildings. Thanks for the like, although it was much appreciated. Okay, this is the bridge we made, and then there's the road set up there that we need to do. So that's where we're going to turn right, head to the village. And then through there we see the village sign saying welcome as well. I don't think this road they want us to build, the actual route that's already there, isn't too bad. It's just the water, isn't it, I think it wants obviously rid of. But this is from the earthquakes they had here. This is why there's so much damage, is from all the earthquakes, which is the story of the map, essentially. Each map in the base game and DLC has a story to it. Something's happened and we're there to fix the problems and get everyone starting again, essentially. But we made it to the village, just got to get through the water here. And we should be on tarmac again in a second, which will make everything easy. We just got to find out where this needs delivering as well, to be fair. Just over here by the looks of things. We need to move the Voron over to actually unload this. Do we need the Voron to open the gate as well, actually? Yeah, that handle's on the outside, so I think we need to open the gate. I think it's going to be a pull... Is it a pull gate or push gate? Let's grab the Voron first and foremost. Where did we leave the Voron? over here. Because we can use the crane to open the gate, is what I'm thinking. There's no other way in there, is there? We have to go back this way. I think you can get in the back bit there, to be fair. And then we can drive in and push the gate open, maybe. Let's do that. Do a bit of ship wrangling over. How am I a ship wrangler? This will be interesting. How am I a ship wrangler when you've just met me, you don't know me? So what makes you think that? Which way are we going? Back. And down there. Yeah, it's a bit of presumptuous of you to assume that, to be fair. Okay, I think we can get in the back here and then push the gate that way. Just by the looks of it. I think that fence is down. I'll have a look and see if we can. It just means we don't have to use the crane to try and open the gates outward, which can be tricky. Is that fence down? I think it is. If we had a scout vehicle here, it wouldn't be so bad. The scout vehicles will actually pull them really easily. Crane can be a bit fiddly. To solve that, we come in this back way, and we can push these gates open, hopefully. There we go. And then this will unload the generator. We need to set the route for the logs again. That's finished, because it won't set itself. We need to set that back up. Right, we've got about 10 more minutes left, so let's try and get this done. Get a new base operations here at the very least. Right, Voron's in position. Get our anchors out ready. So that will unload the other vehicle. Let's quickly set this back up. Double check there's no vehicle running. No. So cancel and reset. We'll only do that until all the logs are delivered. Once the logs are delivered, we won't just leave it. We don't need it after that. Right. Now the Voron will struggle to lift this, as it is going to be extremely heavy. But it should manage it, as we've done it before. We've actually carried it in the Voron before, one of these. So we've done it before. But we do know it's going to struggle a little bit, let's put it that way. Right. There we go. All we're going to do is get it over the edge of the vehicle, and we should be absolutely fine. There we go. And although it go green, I do like to get it as much in position ourselves first, to be fair. But there we go. That is the generator delivered. Countryside base is now up and running. I was waiting to see if Kelly said anything, but she hasn't. So that is a new base operations in the village over here, so we can now call vehicles in and resources from here when we need them. Obviously, wow, okay. So now we've got that open. I've just seen something new appear, and we knew we had to clear this area of debris. We're going to need to build a bridge here as well. We also need to build a road all the way through here to the radio tower by the looks of things. So that's something else we now need to do. The other thing as well, is there a quarry nearby? Because without a quarry we can't lay sand. Now there is one here, but that needs activating and we don't have any tokens, and I'm not seeing a mission where we get tokens either yet. None of the infrastructure ones give us tokens by the looks of it. No. So until we've got tokens, we may have an issue of not being able to do a lot of them, because we can't do the roads without sand. And then there's no quarry over there. The only thing we can do is use one of the heavy dumpers as a mobile quarry, but it's not amazing to do. Or we can find some sand and use the scalper, but it doesn't look very sandy, does it? That's something we're going to have to deal with then. We do need to clear that anyway with a crane. We've got 10 minutes. Do we try and do the long... You know what? We've got 10 minutes left, so before we finish, let's do the Archeologist. So if we track that, there's a vehicle to take from the village, and we've got to get all the way to the Archeologist base over here. That will give us some more money and stuff. we've got to take the vehicle that they've given us as well, which is a scout vehicle with equipment on the back. So let's head off in this. As I say, we don't know exactly what we're going to find along the route, so hopefully this can manage it. The worst thing about this kind of vehicle is you can turn it over so easily if the gradient goes against you, so that's what you'll be wary of. And I have a bad habit of making these things fall over. I need to get through there, don't we? We need to get that cleared as well, so this actually get in and out of here a little bit easier. So at some point we'll just get a crane and clear this road bit. Okay, the logs have been delivered again. We're going to quickly go back and reset that. It's annoying, but we've only got 5 more times this needs doing, and then that's all the rewards done. I don't know why it's not working itself. It's a weird one. I've not seen that all the way through the base game until now. It is unusual. Okay. Archeologist camp, here we come. So we did see there was another roadway on the other side of this bit. So we'll try and follow that, I think. I am concerned about sand, and trying to build 2 roads with no sand is going to be tricky. We need to find a sandy area to put the scalper in, ideally. Because even with the big dumper trucks, they don't have a massive radius. And although they can be mobile quarries, they still need to be in a quarry zone. Because after 4 loads, you need to refill them. So it's not like it's just sand galore. You have to keep refilling them from a quarry site no matter what. So we're going to work that one out when it comes to it. But with 2 roads being built, we're going to need a quarry nearby. Right, I think we just keep following the road, or do we turn off here? So that goes down here towards a warehouse. We are heading south, where this road takes us back to Southern Tunnel up there. So I think we've got to follow this road down, and then we're cutting across here, I think, looking at that. So we don't want to go towards the tunnel. Although we've not been there yet, we don't need to go that way. I would assume we'll get a delivery through there, or a convoy or something at some point, I would say. Right, we need to turn off here as well. I don't really want to go in that water, but I think that's where we've got to go. This is actually quite deep. That got really deep really quickly. We have got a terrain scanner, it's not brilliant. Okay, are we crossing there? So the road does carry on and then turns off here. So we'll try and follow the road for as far as it goes first. I'm hoping there's a crossing point somewhere where it's not so deep in the water. Because we don't want to flood the engine. If we flood the engine, we've then got to tow this out. We don't want to do that. We can avoid it. But this will probably be the last mission we do today by the looks of things. And then for those that aren't aware, the schedule for the channel comes out on Sunday. It's 1 PM GMT on Sunday for the scheduled video. And there'll be a live stream community post at 8 PM saying what live stream times are for the week. So you can see it in 2 different places on Sunday. Okay, there's a load of wood down here as well. Potentially from an old bridge by the looks of things. So we should be able to utilise that. Let's have a quick check. So there's wood leading to here. And our point we're going to is further, wow, miles away still. Okay. I wonder if we would have been better off coming from this way, maybe. Well, they're saying that there's no real roads from there, is there? Doesn't kind of join up. Maybe not. Okay, let's get across this wood. Oh, they're actually solid, so that's not too bad. I was worried they were going to move, but actually, no, they're quite solid. That's not bad at all. You haven't said what made you thought that's, by the way, ship angler. As I said, I think it's a bit presumptuous of you. Logs have been delivered. We've got to reset that once again. So cancel and go again. 8 logs remaining, 4 more loads, and then that is done. We've got enough logs now to deliver the ones to the sawmill. We need 15 for the sawmill. So we'll do that next time, as we won't have time today. It's a good job this is a scout vehicle and not a crane or a mule. Although the mule probably would make it. and the Voron, but they could have given us so many different vehicles. I'm glad they gave us this. There's not much I think would make it here otherwise. But there's more wood here. There are a lot of rocks as well, which could pose a problem, depending how deep this is. There is another bit to our right, actually. Would that be better? There's a road that way as well. I think that's more mud, though, isn't it, that way? But I don't know how many of these rocks we can avoid. And I don't want to go into the deep water. I think we go the other route to the right there. I just think trying to get across them rocks would be a nightmare. It takes one little slip and us go in the deep water, and then we're going to be stuck. So we'll try this way. It is sharp as a route. I like this. Oh, hang on. That bit's red. Why is that red? Low gear on. This bit showed up as red on the terrain scanner, which is a concern. Just deep mud essentially, I think, by the looks of things. We're still moving forward. Low gear, I think, helped there, to be fair. Turn low gear off now. Okay, can we get across to that wood pile over here? It seems like we can. Lost Soul, good morning, how are you? Or good evening if it's evening for you. Morning for me for another 5 minutes or so. Right, so the wood track goes to the right now. Hopefully we can find a proper road. But we'll finish the stream once we finish this mission. It may extend about 5 minutes because I don't think we're far off, to be fair. We are nearly out of time though for today. I think we've achieved quite a lot so far today though. Managed to build that big road back into the base as well. That's done. So we've got the convoys working there, and that road has worked really well. I think without the road, them convoys would not have made it. So that's gone really well. We've got a new base operation set up, the countryside base in the village as well. We've just done that. So I think we've got quite a bit done, a decent amount considering there was a lot of prep work needed just to get the convoys going, to be fair. So in 3.5 hours, I think we have done a decent amount. But sometimes there are days it doesn't feel like we've achieved very much. Today I think we have. Like, there's more wood laid here, but there's a big gap in the middle, which is a concern. Please tell me there's still wood there. I don't know if there is. There's a big gap there. My concern is it's going to be too deep for us. There is a bit here. Hang on, let's reset the wood. 6 more logs remaining because of the little glitch. We've got to keep resetting that. 3 more loads needed. Right, on the map, there is a little bit, there's a route here potentially to go across. I don't think we're going to make it through there. It looks too deep. How far off the Archeologist base? Not far at all. We're nearly there. If we risk it and we get stuck, we're not going to get it done today. It's difficult to tell how shallow that is there, or how deep this is. Terrain scanner's not saying too deep though, actually, to be fair. Well, I think the wood's still there. Where the wood is, let's see, it's not telling us past that. Take it slow. I just want to see if we suddenly sink like that. I think we're going the wrong way. Yeah, terrain scanner's all good until it stops showing you anything. But yeah, to me, is that going to be deep? Doesn't seem too bad. Well, I say that. Full speed. Okay, we risked it and it worked. I was really nervous that that wasn't going to work there, to be fair. But it did. Okay, Archeologist base, 250 metres away. Let's get this mission complete before we finish today. This looks to be a quarry as well, to be fair. So that is a sand quarry. That's already working. So if we have a quick look, I don't think that's close enough to the village though, is it? No, so that takes us there. We want, since we've got 2 roads to build by the village, there is a quarry to activate there, but we've got no tokens and we haven't got a mission to earn any yet. But we've got to build 2 roads from that village, and I don't think the quarry reaches any of them. And this one is fine being here, but doesn't help us with that. But this quarry is already active, so that's something at least. Okay. Archeologist, nearly 150 meters and we're done. Are we heading left here? I think so. The vehicle's done really well, to be fair. Scout vehicles generally will get across most stuff. There's a bit of concern with the water. Before we head to scout there, let's just utilise this and scout this out. This is a building of sorts, whether it's a base of operations. Ah, no, new side objective. They've unlocked a new side objective by heading here. Let's have a look what it is. Return the archaeological equipment. Oh wow, okay, so there's some archaeological equipment over here. And this will earn us 7 tokens. And will give us a dry stone base. I don't know where the dry stone base... Ah, this is dry stone base. So to unlock that base operations, we need to go to the scout vehicle, or the mule, or the Voron. Find out there's something there to pick up and bring it back. And that will give us the tokens we need to unlock the quarries as well, plus also a new base operations. So that's something we'll look at for next week as well then. But let's get this delivered so that means job done. And then we will be done for today, unfortunately, as we are out of time. 3.5 hours flies by. It really does. Okay, before we head there, I'm just going to set the infrastructure because in case I forget next week when we start back up. If this is already running, it needs 2 more loads. So the penultimate load is now running. And this is the archaeological base. And this is us delivering their vehicle full of their equipment. That is mission complete. Some weird things happening. I have some unknown YouTubers subscribed. Keep happening for a while now.
Remember those archaeologists we helped back at Elamir? Those guys were a hoot and a half. Wouldn't you just love to see them again? Well, today's your lucky day.
These are the same people.
They had their fill of deserts, though, so now they're diving for Atlantis. Or something like that. They seem to need some fuel and spare parts for their mini-sub. So could you deliver those? Oh,
so their mini-sub,
maybe check
wow.
out a few sites they were interested in digging at later. You know, for science.
So the archaeologists have given us a load more missions as well then. This final base map of the base game is full of, there's so much to do. You're never going to know everyone that subscribes to your channel though. So as long as people that subscribe watch your content, it doesn't matter who they are. You know, and when you say an unknown YouTuber, at the end of the day, people that subscribe may not actually create their own content. They may not be, as you say, a YouTuber. They're just there to watch stuff. That's the thing. So you're never going to know everyone that subscribes. You're never going to know every person. So it's not a big deal. As long as they watch your content, that's the important part. So I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, that is that mission complete. We've gained a couple of new ones here. Supply Northlock village with resources. That is a new mission. We need 6 steel beams, 2 concrete slabs, 5 logs and a vehicle, all to the village to restore the village. We can't do any of that yet because we can't make concrete slabs or beams yet. So that will have to happen in the future when we've unlocked those places. We need to supply the archaeologist camp with the requested resources as well. So there's 2 is it vehicles or are they just... No, they're not vehicles. They're actually bits. They're actually machines, aren't they? So there's 2 objects to deliver. They're both being picked up over here at the logistics terminal and delivered all the way to the base down here. Wow, that's a journey and a half, especially since we've just done it with a different vehicle. They've also added 2 small side objects. Plan a route for concrete supply, and that would unlock the concrete facility which we need. Well, actually, no, won't. It will give us the concrete slabs, but won't do the actual facility. Ah, that's interesting. But that's the infrastructure route. Where's that going? From the Eastern Tunnel to the warehouse. Oh, wow. Okay, that's a route and a half that may struggle unless we build roads and bridges, because that's going to take that's a long way to go without any roads or bridges. Okay, that's going to be interesting. And the other mission they've given us is find the 5 different archaeological sites. So we don't need to pick up any stuff. We just need to go there and find the object with the scanner from one of the scout vehicles. There's 5 of these to go to. That one's not too bad. We can do that by the console base fairly quickly. And there's one over there to do as well. Plus the missions we already had are still there. So there's 4 side missions on the go and 4 main missions. Has that infrastructure finished its penultimate run? It has. Okay, we'll set the final run up of the logs. So that is doing its thing for when we're back on RoadCraft. But that is us, unfortunately, for today. I'm going to be out because I haven't picked a vehicle. Let's just jump in a vehicle for a second. Can't actually leave without being in a vehicle. But as I say, that is us out of time for today, unfortunately. 3.5 hours has flown. We'll have a quick look at how much we've done in terms of percentage of missions left. But we're nowhere near finishing the final map before the DLC, are we? I don't think. I feel like I've done quite a bit, but a lot of it was prep work. So you meant that you're subscribed to unknown people. If you don't watch their content, why are you subscribed to them? That's the thing. If anything, you're not hurting a channel by subscribing, but not watching their content isn't helping the channel either. So if you subscribe to a channel that you're not interested in, why subscribe? That's where sub for sub doesn't work. That's the thing. It doesn't help a channel. The only thing that helps the channel is people actually engaging in your content. Subscribers don't matter. It really doesn't. If anything, it's the number that people use to inflate their own ego, and it's just a way of saying, look at me, I've got this many subscribers. Once you've got 1,000 and are monetized, subscribers mean nothing. It's more about views than anything else. So we started today, I think 2 or 4%. We're now on 19% on Kernel. We've done 2 of the 17 infrastructure requests. I did say there's lots to do on this one. And lots of this will be non-mission related stuff, so building the roads so we can actually complete a convoy. A lot of these are going to be that by looks of things. 8 of the 33 main objectives, and we've done no side objectives yet, but we can now deliver the logs, so that's something at least for one of the side objectives. But yeah, lots to do on Kernel still. As I say, we are back in RoadCraft next week, as this is the final stream this week as well. The schedule, as I say, will come out on Sunday, 1 PM GMT, the scheduled video, and 8 PM GMT for the community live stream post. But we're 19.6 hours into this so far, and yeah, thoroughly enjoying it. Looking forward to finishing off the base game and starting the DLC and using some of the new DLC vehicles as well, like the bridge layers as well. You haven't subscribed, you must have done. YouTube doesn't subscribe you to channels. Only you can do that. So unless someone else has access to your account, you've subscribed. That's the thing. It's only you can do that. YouTube doesn't just subscribe you to channels. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. You may not remember subscribing. You may have pressed it accidentally. There's loads of different ways of doing it. But yeah, if you don't watch them, unsubscribe. Unsubscribing doesn't hurt a channel either. That's the thing. So it does. If you don't watch their content, unsubscribe. It's not the end of the world. But yeah, sorry, we're out of time for today. As I say, 3.5 hours has flown. We are back Monday morning with more RoadCraft. The plan for next week, I haven't quite finalised it, but I'm hoping to have more RoadCraft next week and probably Assassin's Creed Shadows. Although the story of the DLC is done, there's other bits and pieces we still want to see and do. So we'll probably be very similar to this week in terms of live streams, maybe 2 Shadows and 3 RoadCraft, or 4 RoadCraft, 1 Shadows. We'll work it out before the schedule goes live on Sunday. There is going to be episodes of content. I'm hoping to get SnowRunner out for Saturday as planned. I just need to not fall asleep and be really drowsy this afternoon. Otherwise, it won't get done. But yeah, hopefully that's out tomorrow afternoon as well at 2 PM GMT for the continuation of the SnowRunner series. And then, yeah, hopefully our episode of content will be back next week with Far Cry New Dawn and more SnowRunner. And then potentially next week or the week after, we're hoping to get Wreckfest back on the channel. As we used to do, and also the second Metal Gear Solid game in our franchise run of Metal Gear Solid. That is the plan. But a massive thanks to you guys. What other games do we do? So we do Assassin's Creed Shadows. We've done every Assassin's Creed game there is. We'll head back to Mirage once that gets its update before the end of the year. We do RoadCraft, as you see. We've got SnowRunner on the go. We've done the Far Cry franchise run. So we're currently on Far Cry New Dawn, and then Far Cry 6 after that. That's episodically though. And then we also have Wreckfest, which will be back on the channel in due course. And we're currently doing a franchise run on Metal Gear Solid. All our games are voted for by the subscribers. So we put it on the community chat, and people vote for what they want next. That's how it generally works. But I hope that helps, Lost Soul. But that is it. Thank you very much for joining us. Hope everyone has a fantastic weekend. Thanks for the likes, the comments, the views, and the conversation. We're back Monday morning with more RoadCraft. Until then, have a good one, and we'll see you in a live stream very soon. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.